San Antonio Spurs started their rodeo road trip last night in Los Angeles. They simply dominated the shorthanded Lakers 136-108. Victor Wembanyama went 40 and 12. 25 of his points came in the first 8 minutes of the first quarter. And Wemby becomes the only player in league history to record at least 40 points and 12 boards in 26 or fewer minutes of all time. Steph Castle, by the way, left with a pelvis contusion.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And we're out on the road on this Wednesday afternoon. Some people call it Hump Day.
Hump Day!
I hope you're having a good hump day wherever you are, however you are doing it. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. And, well, I tell you what, we are at Novo. It is attached to NorthStar Mall. That's where we're at. It is the newest sports watching destination in San Antonio. Great place. And what do you think? We had lunch, Minix, and pretty good, huh?
It was fantastic. I had shrimp skewers and rice and black beans, which were spectacular. But I'll tell you what, you walk into this place, and I'd not been here before. You had described it, and I don't want to say you failed at your description, but I mean, one, I'm surprised and impressed with how big this space is.
It's huge.
All the televisions. I know they're having a lot of people showing up here tonight for a business conference type deal. But whether you're going to eat or the bar over there, and it's Novo Brazilian Brewery, right? So I'm thinking it's a brewery, and you go to any brewery and they have their beer. Here, I see all kinds of taps over there. It's a full bar. It is. So if you're like, I don't know about that beer, it's fine. They've got what you want here.
They absolutely do. And they do have all the Brazilian beer over there. But, yeah, on draft, there's probably 20 more over there, including Jason Minix, Flight by England.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean,
of course.
We know it's a high-end establishment.
Yes.
but here's now, granted, first time here, I've had lunch here. You don't even have to go into the mall.
No.
So if you're coming off of Rector, right behind NorthStar Mall, you come in that driveway and it's right there. Boom, parking, easy. It's not one of those, all right, where am I going to go? So imagine I don't go to the mall unless I got to go to the Apple store. And then, the Apple store here, La Cantera, wherever Apple says you can go to get it right away is where you go, and you're in and you're out. The Cowboys Pro Shop is right upstairs. I have been to that. I don't want to lie. But, I always think, when you're forced to go shopping, either with your wife or if you're a girl dad with your daughter, all these stores that you don't want to be in, they need a dad chair. And this is the dad chair. Honey, go shopping. I'm going to be right here. I'm watching the game. You can find me here. This is what the mall needs. This isn't the food court where you're trying. I'll hang out at no. I mean, you want a great place to come, chill out, drink a beer, and watch the game while she's shopping, and you still get credit for going shopping. That should be the marketing campaign for this place.
Well, that's a hell of a deal, and certainly it is, because you can get into the mall. They've also got a kids area over here. You don't have to leave the kids at home to come here if you don't want to. Now, if it was me, I'd have a babysitter. But you do you. They got a play area over there for the kids to entertain themselves while you are having a cold beer and watching the game. So this place has it all. It's family friendly, but it's an upscale bar, I would say. Wouldn't you say that's a pretty good way to describe it?
Yeah, no, it definitely has a nice high-end feel to it. I see Jacob Eric on YouTube debating on finishing his workday over there. Dude, you've done that at other places before. You and Gabe can have your quote-unquote business meeting at that booth right over there, him doing his work and you doing yours with a cold beer. That's the beauty of it. You need to get out of a work card, we've got you covered. We even got these fancy new pens. You want a pen? We can sign the note with that. Come get that. We've got koozies and Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets that you can register for.
But you have to register here. We're not going to give them away on the phone. We're not going to give them away on YouTube. You register here. Now, we're giving them away today. So you don't have to wait, but you put your name in the hopper. We'll draw a winner here toward the end of the show or right at the end of the show. So you got to come down here, sign up, and put your name in the box. You have to be here to win, and those are going to be damn good tickets. And you mentioned it yesterday, expensive tickets. We're giving them to you for free.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not cheap. It's Post Malone. It's Jelly Roll. We've got free tickets. Come here and get registered. On our YouTube page, over on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, Miguel says, I saw it 2 days ago when I was shopping at Express. Tempted to go in.
Well, why didn't you?
You should have, and now you have a reason to. We're telling you there. Rudolph says, is it normal to say it's at NorthStar Mall? Like, what does attached to NorthStar Mall even mean? So, again, to give you an idea, I get it. It is a part of the mall. You can walk in the mall doors and come in through the mall or from the parking lot. So when you say it's attached to, it's a part of the mall, but it's not in the mall. You don't have to go in the mall to come here. Some people don't want to go to the mall and get lost or tempted and have to go hunt it down in the mall. There's signage and a parking lot right by the front door. Rudolph.
They've got their own entrance, which is nice, and they're not tied to mall hours.
Yeah.
They're open later than that, obviously, and so that way you can come and go, its own interest. And I don't know where you parked, Minix, but I parked right there. I walked about, 15 feet, and I was inside this place.
Yeah, that's it. And we do have those bottle openers, Antonio. We got all kinds of prices.
And koozies.
Yeah, we got a new promotions director who was given the corporate card, and he went nuts. I got everything but T-shirts.
We'll have to work on that guy. I know that guy.
I know that guy too.
I know that guy.
That guy too. But the problem is, if he ordered T-shirts, they'd all be schmedium.
Yeah, you're probably
he
right.
ordered what he needs: koozies, bottle openers, and pens.
You're probably right. But those are the necessities that you need. It's funny because I didn't know he did that. He brought me one the other day, and he said, "Here, have one of these," and I'm like, "Okay." And now I understand that Pledge, that was his first big activity as the new program director.
Yeah, well, and I did a good job
promotions
of making sure one of our banners was unusable coming back from San Francisco. And so we'll get a new one of those here pretty soon, too.
Absolutely. Rudolph, maybe you'll stop by. Stop by.
Mm-hmm.
You got to come check this place out because I'm telling you, once you're in here, once you come in here and you see this place, you see the atmosphere, you see all the televisions, you're going to want to come back and you're going to want to make a plan to come back and watch a game.
And I will say this. If you are in any kind of business that requires any kind of networking,
no kidding,
there is a major networking event happening here this afternoon. I already forgot what the name of it is, but it's a young professionals. So if you're in one of those jobs where you need to network and you need to meet other business professionals, and I've seen photos of their events, if you're single, this is going to be a great spot for you to be.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that will converge on this place a little bit later this afternoon. But come on down here. Gabe did it. Gabe always shows up, man.
Yeah.
And he's always the first one here.
I know.
He's enjoying a cold beer, and I'm sure he ordered some food, and he's doing work here.
Yeah, he's working.
Yeah, so come on down.
Gabe is a seasoned vet at showing up at our events because I believe today is the 18th birthday of this radio station. The idea, Gabe always shows up early, like right as the show starts. But he's been around long enough. He knows we'd put his ass to work if he got here earlier. So he doesn't show up early enough to help, just to start drinking beer.
That's a vet move.
Yeah, it's a vet move.
Vet move.
Vet move.
Doesn't take long for Gabe to get a beer.
No.
That was really quick,
No,
actually.
I think he calls ahead.
He may have.
I'm walking in.
I think the server had it ready. As soon as he sat down, that beer appeared there.
Yes. Norm. Yes.
So come on down. Again, you got to see this place first and foremost. Secondly, you have to be here to register for the Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets that they're going to be in Waco on a Sunday. I think it's May 19th, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, you got to win them here, and you have to sign up here. So make plans to do that. Whether you're still working or not doesn't make any difference. You can work here. The Wi-Fi is fantastic.
It is.
You got no problem.
None.
No problem
None.
whatsoever.
And I imagine they were up late last night because they can't get all the NBA games and baseball season right around the corner. Because, again, they're not attached to mall hours. It's a bar. It's a restaurant. And last night, The Spurs just flat dominated. What a show by Victor Wembanyama.
That guy was incredible. They did what they're supposed to do to a team that is that shorthanded, and it was good to see. And what was good about it, Jason, was the fact that I went to bed at halftime. I didn't even have to worry about it. It was all.
You didn't wait till halftime, Grandpa.
No, I actually did. So it was good. But it was good to see Wemby perform the way that he did. And now he's all alone on a list, all by himself in the NBA. Nobody's ever done that before. We'll tell you all about that. We'll rehash the Spurs' big win against the Lakers last night. Wemby's performance. We'll hear from Wemby. We'll hear from Mitch Johnson. And we'll get ready for tonight's game. Spurs going right back at it at Golden State, taking on the Warriors. As we continue live from Novo, get on down here and party with us on this Wednesday afternoon. Some call it a hump day. Get on down here with us. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-269-3394. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394.
He's coming. Here he goes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious, farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, we've got classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, you can upgrade to a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a small Friday on the Morning Huddle, or a Thursday to you guys. Oh, baby. USA Hockey getting underway. How do they fare to start out their Olympic run?
I'm feeling very Olympic today. And did the Golden State Warriors lay down for the Spurs? Will that make 3 straight? We'll talk about that in my Gold Fever coming up tomorrow. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wembanyama! There was a lot of that going on last night, that's for sure, because Wemby was on fire, taking advantage of no Luka, no LeBron, no Austin Reeves, and just made the Lakers look silly last night. My goodness. I mean, he just started the game a man possessed.
Dude, Wemby put on a show last night, and I don't know what the pregame conversation was. You know, I know I said a couple of weeks ago when he got pissed off in a game, I like pissed off Wemby. He played that game pissed off last night. The idea and the concern that I had yesterday, we talked about it on the show, nobody's there, human nature, you're going to have a letdown, like they did when Oklahoma City rested all their guys against the Spurs.
Yeah.
Do not play down to the level of competition. Wemby did not. Dude was in a zone last night to start the game.
It feels right. What got me going is honestly proving myself a point, proving my team a point. Because I'm not, as I said before, I'm not worried about us, I'm not worried about me against good teams. But, yeah, I mean, history has showed that I need to be worried about us against teams like this. So, yeah, I mean, we don't just talk about what we need to do. We need to actually act.
You know, and that's exactly what I wanted to see from the Spurs, to come out and just smack the Lakers around with nobody playing. That's what you've got to do, and not play down to them. They've got the same situation tonight, Minix.
Yep.
No Steph Curry tonight for the Golden State Warriors.
And again, I don't know that's too much of a surprise, but they've got to take advantage. I mean, you got to stack all the wins you can. You're 3.5 back now of Oklahoma City for the 1 seed in the Western Conference. It is certainly doable for them to be able to catch them. And if Wemby is playing like he did last night, that was some alien stuff. I mean, it was, 17 straight points. Even De'Aaron Fox, and he'll say he did it on purpose, almost blowing a layup and then had that pass to him off the backboard. I mean, it was schoolyard. It was, 7'9" Wemby playing against 7th graders last night, and it looked that way. You get that kind of effort, and can they give Oklahoma City in the Western Conference playoffs a run for their money? Yes. Denver, don't count them out. I know a lot of people think this is a 2-team race because Denver has been kind of quiet as of late, but Houston is there. Don't forget about some of those other teams, but, and it's not just Spurs fans. It was the talk in San Francisco last week amongst all the people I was around on Super Bowl Radio Row. Spurs and Thunder down the stretch, and it's like, hey, Denver's still pretty good. There's other teams, but with what you saw from last night, that kind of focus against a shorthanded team, impressive.
Loved it. I think playing against quote-unquote bad teams or teams missing players has been a problem. Consistency. I think almost every time we've been ready against like the top seeds. Our record against them shows it. But we've also been bad against below .500 teams. And I mean, tonight, in my opinion, we had to make a statement and show progress.
Oh, I would say that was a statement last night. Absolutely, especially on the part of Victor Wembanyama. I mean, my goodness, you said it, coming out a man possessed and just doing the things that he was doing early on. 25 of his 40 points came in the first 8 minutes of the first quarter.
That's silly.
I mean, think about that. 25 points in 8 minutes of play. And I mentioned the record, 40 points, 12 rebounds. He did that in 26 or fewer minutes. There's nobody else on that list. He's the only one there. It is an NBA record.
The fact, and I know what I'm saying, it's still crazy when you think about it. Different styles, different time. But the fact that he now has 6 40-point games in his young career, and Tim Duncan only had 5 40-point games. And when you look at that, and again, times are different. I get that. But as great as Tim Duncan was, I would have just naturally thought he would have tripped into, 20, 25, 40-point games throughout his career. The fact that he only had 5, that blows me away. I mean, because Timmy had some nights, but, over Tim's long career, he only scored 40 or more 5 times. That to me was shocking because,
that's crazy.
You're like Timmy, as long as he played, he probably had 1 or 2 or 3 of those a year. How he only had 5, and Wemby is now at 6. To me, that is surprising that Timmy just didn't trip into more games like that.
Well, and Wemby's not done. I mean, that guy, he will amass many more games, 40 points or more, just by the way he does it and the way he played last night. But it truly was last night. They were playing a G League team, basically, and Wemby took advantage of it.
Well, it's true. And, I mean, you talk about his 40 last night. Dude said he could have easily gone for 60.
I mean, I know it, but I also know we got to be fresh for tomorrow. We got to make another statement tomorrow. So it's a team game at the end of the day. What the real stat that matters is the W or the L.
Well, and he's right. And, look, you got to come out and do it again tomorrow or tonight. Tomorrow for them when he had that press conference. But tonight against the Warriors, again, a shorthanded team. But you got a Draymond Green there who is going to try and bully one Victor Wembanyama and push him around a little bit.
But and granted, Steph Castle getting hurt last night hurts. But the Spurs know they've got to be tougher. And can they be? Can a Carter Bryant be? It's like
he played well.
Who's going to match up with the aggressiveness that you're going to see from Draymond Green tonight there at the Chase Center in San Francisco? It is interesting, but they got to stack the wins. Now, one of the things that Mitch Johnson did talk about last night that I thought was interesting, because obviously it was a great win for the Spurs, although I think we all know, all right, that was a game they should have won going away, and they did. They did exactly what they needed to do. Same thing's going to be there tonight. They didn't do anything at the trade deadline last week, and I don't know if this was the media's first opportunity to really talk to Mitch since the deadline came and gone. Again, being in San Francisco last week, that kind of stuff was a little bit on the back burner for me. I'm pissed off they didn't make a move. Mitch Johnson said, kind of by design, they wanted to make sure their continuity stayed the same.
I think we've had, as a number of teams had, but quite a bit of people out throughout the year, obviously, in terms of availability. And so just being able to get some consistent time together will be helpful. We don't have time in the past because it's really this team's first journey together. So all the on the court, on the job training is important.
Well, and I can see that point. Now, I think if you add a piece, especially just one guy that has a role specifically, I think you'll be okay with that. But I understand what he's talking about. But again, is that going to be a problem that will bite them once the playoffs roll around? I mean, only time will tell, but it could be.
And time will tell. And I hope they prove me wrong, but I don't know that this team, currently constructed the way it is going to win an NBA Finals. There are some pieces missing. Now, there are holes in every team in the Western Conference, right? And that includes Oklahoma City. But the Spurs' glaring needs. Last night they were knocking down their threes. On nights that they don't, we know what those are like. A consistent three-point shooter or another big. I thought they definitely needed to go if the front office thought they could actually win it all this year. I think their inactivity tells me they're not ready. And they might not be. I mean, I go back a couple of years ago, and the example's pretty easy. You look at Oklahoma City, had that great regular season and got punched in the mouth in the playoffs. They made some adjustments, and then they won a championship the following year. That feels like the path that this Spurs team is on. This is good, but are they ready? I'd love for them to be like the Seattle Seahawks right now, having their parade. And, boy, former UTSA Roadrunner Tariq Woolen looks like he's having a great time at that parade. Just saw some video on Twitter of reek. But are they there? I mean, but then you see a game like last night, and you see what Wemby can do. And I know it was against a shorthanded team, but my God, he looks like he's ready to take over the NBA.
Well, look, he is, and he will eventually do that. Again, I want to see what happens tonight up against Draymond Green, because Green's going to be on him, and he's going to bully him, and he's going to do that. He's going to get physical with him. Now, has Wemby kind of learned how to deal with that a little bit? And again, time will tell. The good news for the Spurs last night, Jason, I mean, Wemby only played 26 minutes, I should say. You got Champagnie only 18. De'Aaron Fox only played 17 minutes last night. So those guys didn't expend a lot of energy last night either in getting this big win. And look, every season has its challenges, and the Spurs are getting lucky right now, and they're taking advantage of it. And you know what I'm talking about. Playing a Lakers team without obviously three of their stars is a gift. I mean, it is a gift, and they took advantage of it. Playing the Golden State Warriors without Steph Curry is a gift, and they got to take advantage of it.
Well, again, you've got under 30 games now, 29 left in the regular season, and they're sitting there at 37-16. All of us that thought they'd go over, 42? 42 and a half,
40
whatever
some
it was.
odd, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We're feeling pretty good about needing to go to Vegas pretty soon to cash that baby in. But when you look at it, but this is the time of year where you can't have those bad losses. And tonight against a Golden State team, they're shorthanded. You've got to go get that win. And Golden State's been going through it. Obviously, they made that trade with the Hawks last week and sent Jonathan Kuminga away. But there's some drama inside the Golden State walls that we're finding out about, and it's pettiness. And you're just happy it's not happening in your team. But the article coming out now that Kuminga's a Hawk is one of the issues is he had one of his people, somebody in his circle, taking too much food out of the family room. Because at every building, if you don't know this, but there is an area where the family can go hang out, and it's always well stocked with food and beverages, and it's nice, it's comfortable. You can go hang out there, kids can play. You got your mom, your dad, your girlfriends, your wives, your kids, your buddies. They all get passes to the family room. Well, apparently somebody in Kuminga's family was taking too much of the food from the family room, and it was pissing off Golden State. Of all the drama, catering is one of the issues with Kuminga.
Well, I'm sure that was part of it. Maybe the final, nail in the coffin, so to speak. But Kuminga just didn't perform the way the Warriors thought he would when they drafted him, and so. It's interesting. They got rid of him. That's what they wanted to do. But you talk about an end of a dynasty, and I think the Warriors are that. They're old, first and foremost, with Curry and Green and some of the other players that they have. And then Steve Kerr. Every time you listen to him, he sounds like he's ready to call it a day right now. And so even though they're right flat in the middle of the playoff chase, which is where you would expect Golden State to be, and that's a team, and that's what I want to drive home. And I think Spurs fans know this. You got these teams like Denver right now. You got these teams, I'll even say the Lakers, because they will have a healthy Luka come playoff time. Minnesota, and some of these teams that don't seem to be playing well right now certainly will step their game up when the playoffs roll around. That's the way it works each and every year, and things get a lot tougher, and Spurs fans need to be ready for that.
Well, and again, and there's some people commenting on our YouTube about the last time they played Golden State and Wemby got roughed up a little bit.
Yeah.
He owes them one. But that's the one thing about Wemby that we know at this point in his career. He has studied that film. He has looked at what Golden State did to him and has tried to figure out ways that he can correct that. I don't know that we will see the same response from Vic tonight. It'll be interesting to see how Steve Kerr tries to attack Victor Wembanyama in a game tonight, knowing the success that they had last time. That'd be interesting to watch for sure.
Do you think anybody can tell Draymond Green what to do? He's going to do what he wants to do. And I promise you, whether it's in the game plan or not, that's just what Draymond Green does. It doesn't, whether it's Wemby or somebody else, whoever he is on, is of bullying And that's what's going to happen tonight in San Francisco. And we'll see how Wemby comes out of that. And again, I think a key part of last night's win was the fact that these guys did not play extended minutes. They should be fresh. Last game before the All-Star break, and this ought to be another W.
It should be. And one other little side note when you're watching tonight, if and you know how they always show, because I was at the Chase Center last Friday night for the EA party, the Madden Bowl, and the big concerts that they had.
Bragging.
Yeah,
Stop bragging.
I am bragging.
Jeez.
It was great.
Bragging.
I mean, yeah.
Some of us had to stay home.
Well, quit whining.
Don't rub it in.
All right, I'm bragging and you're whining. That's fair. But one of the things, having been there, I was just there. Beautiful building. It's not that old. But when they show the outside shots, and all the bars and restaurants and that area right outside the arena where they're probably going to have watch parties and whatnot. Just look at that and imagine that in downtown San Antonio.
Oh, man.
I know I do that now with all this Project Marvel stuff. And when I see other buildings and those, I look at that kind of thing and wish, that's what we're talking about. What I saw in San Francisco on Friday night at the Chase Center is what we're talking about. When they do cutaways of that tonight, imagine that or something along those lines in downtown San Antonio. That Chase Center was done right. The bars in that place, the levels in that place, just everything that we got to see outside the Chase Center. I mean, saw everything but a basketball game, a couple of good concerts, but there were bars on the third floor that we went to, on the floor that we went to. That building is well done. Very well done.
Which is how it should be, Minix.
Yep.
For a basketball team, and it's an event. You go down there before, you stay after, and it's all an event. Let me tell you another place that was done right. Novo, which is where we are today. We are at Novo, and happy to be here. It's the newest sports watching place in San Antonio, attached to NorthStar Mall. It's got its own entrance. You don't have to go through the mall to get in here. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. It does have its own entrance, and it doesn't follow mall hours. Come on down here and party with us and get registered for Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets. Only way you can win them is to come down here and register for them. All right. RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys. A lot of rumors going around about the Cowboys and some of the things that they might do. We'll talk to RJ about that when we continue live from Novo. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about the Golf Club of Texas. You know, I checked out the weather forecast, and what a great weekend it's going to be. It's going to be a great weekend. It's a great weekend to get the sticks out and go play some golf out at the Golf Club of Texas. You want to get out there. And look, if you can't play on the weekend, I get that. If you want to play on a Monday, you can do that. How about a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Doesn't matter. Any day that ends in Y, you can go out to the Golf Club of Texas because it is open 7 days a week. Looks like a private club. It is not. It is open to the public. They've got some of the best staff that you can imagine out there. They're going to treat you like royalty. And then they've got the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. This place is fantastic. It really is fantastic. The food is great. The beverages are first class. Any kind of beer, a huge selection of ice cold beer, any kind of cocktail that you want, they can whip that up for you as well. So whether you're playing golf or you just want to go out there for a nice meal, head on out to the Golf Club of Texas. You know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road, right off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out for dinner at the 10 Cup, around with your buddies, your next tournament, you got to go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. It looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ancira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Back here live at Novo, San Antonio's newest sports watching, restaurant, bar, just great place. It really is. You need to come on down here and check it out. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And so folks beginning to trickle in and enjoying their Wednesday afternoon, Jason.
Yeah, apparently we got a dial tone.
I guess so. How about
that? Is that what that was?
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
We're working on RJ Ochoa. We will get him here. Here at Novo, as we track down RJ, and I don't want to bring down the room, but Gabe Santana is here at Novo, and he just told me some news that I didn't hear last week while I was in San Francisco. But all of you UTSA football fans that are used to going to the tailgates, one of the big tailgates every year, the Bird Gang, the guy that put that on, a guy named Flip, passed away last week.
Oh, wow.
45 years old, gotten sick and ended up having a heart attack. And that's just devastating. But Flip was always so welcoming to everybody at UTSA tailgates.
Always.
Just always incredible. And again, you hate to hear that about anybody, especially at 45 years old.
Yeah, no kidding. That's horrible. And it's going to be sad to head out to a UTSA football game this fall and not see him out.
Oh, but, that means we'll just have to pour several out for Flip.
Well, absolutely. We can start today.
Yeah, we can.
We can start today.
With some kombucha.
You got to try kombucha.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 kinds. Now, I'm going to say one of them is just kombucha. It's non-alcoholic. The other is hard kombucha.
Okay.
And I'll have to get a menu because there's like 7 different flavors.
Okay.
And they're dangerous because they taste like Kool-Aid. But there's about 8% alcohol in them.
8% alcohol in Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that is right up RJ Ochoa's alley.
Absolutely.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Have you ever had kombucha?
The non-alcoholic beer? No. Isn't that what? Who was it that registered as being drunk for that? That wasn't actually drunk. There was an athlete that had drank a lot of it and failed a test because they had kombucha in their system, but they weren't actually drinking. Does that make sense?
Sure. I have no idea what you're talking about, but
that's pretty typical for RJ.
It's Michael Floyd. Michael Floyd of the Minnesota Vikings. He at the time he had drank a lot of kombucha and he wasn't drunk. He had just had that. So there you go.
Interesting.
Well, that's what I was explaining, RJ. Here at Novo, they have both kinds. They've got the non-alcoholic version. They've got a hard version that does have alcohol. So you've got your choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm assuming I'm not a chemist, but the non-alcoholic one must carry some properties that true classic alcoholic drinks do. And when Michael Floyd, I don't remember the specifics, but when he got tested, he carried those pathogens or whatever. And he was like, dude, all I had was just like a case of kombucha. That was the whole story there.
He thought it was non-alcoholic. It's kind of like when who was it? Dwayne Brown was in Mexico eating the beef and then got popped because of whatever was in the steaks down there.
Right.
Who knows? RJ, fresh off a trip to San Francisco for Super Bowl 60. You had quite a weekend there, and I want to give you full credit. 10 years late, but you finally asked Kirk Cousins about the San Antonio Spurs. You got that in on the variety of interviews that you were able to do during the week.
I did, yeah. I recall a decade ago, you and Rob sent me with a backpack's worth of satellite equipment to the Puppy Bowl set. And I went, and I was very nervous. It was one of the biggest interviews I'd ever done at the time. And I was so just kind of in over my head that he had this was recent. He had recently tweeted about being a Spurs fan, and I got back all sweaty because I was an idiot who wore slacks and dress shoes. And you and Rob were like, hey, so, what do you say about the Spurs? And I was like, what are you talking about? I had no clue whatsoever. But he's a big Sean Elliott fan and Bryn Forbes, but that was because he's a Michigan State guy. So good for Kirk.
Well, that's it. But if I remember correctly, you were like, what should I go ask? Because you wanted to go to the Puppy Bowl, and we sent you, and you were like, what should I ask Kirk Cousins? Like, he's a Spurs fan. Talk Spurs with him. And that will be very different than any other interview he's going to do out there, and you failed. But you made up for it 10 years later.
Yeah, in my defense, it was a very long walk with a lot of equipment in all my dress clothes, and it was Friday of that week, and it was the Puppy Bowl. So I was also enticed by the dogs in question. I didn't have a dog yet at my, personally, so I was just kind of caught. My attention span was short, but yeah, I mean, never late, just early. So your criticism was early and warranted at the time, but we can dust that one off now. It's all done.
Well, see, that's what Minix does. He gets on you early, and then late, you're supposed to know what the hell you're doing.
It
so
makes
I guess
you better.
You learned.
Makes you better.
It did. I mean, it's. I know we're having fun. I really did remember that, and it really did. Again, it was fun and silly and whatnot, but that did teach me a lesson. At that point in my career. And so that's why when I had a chance to interview Kirk, and I sent the clip to Jason, that was the very first thing I asked him because it was almost a personal vendetta. It meant nothing to Kirk at that point, but I was like, Kirk, you have no idea what I've been through for a decade here, man. So let's squash this right now.
The sad part is, I totally forgot you sent that to me. I'm like, what are we doing? And then you remind, and yeah, you're right. Eventually, we get there. What was your overall? Because I've been complaining a lot about San Francisco as a host city. What was your experience?
Yeah, I'm fortunate, like you guys, to have done this in some different cities. It was not my favorite from an ergonomic or a logistical perspective. And certainly going to the game on Sunday, having to ride an hour. It took an hour and 45 minutes to get there on Sunday. Long shuttle ride. It's nicer when everything is in, one general vicinity, one Uber ride away. I don't have anything ill to say about the San Francisco area, but I enjoyed it more than New Orleans, just kind of in terms of my personal practice and what I was doing. But I will say my favorite setup ever was that Kirk Cousins year in Houston. Everything downtown by the convention center, media night at Minute Maid. It was just a really great situation. So send it back to Houston, NFL, please.
Well, RJ, let me ask you this. Did New England look any better in person than they did on TV?
No, it was a bit of a rough go, certainly for the Patriots. And honestly, I think their fans showed up. I don't know how well I haven't watched the whole broadcast yet, but I'd say it was only like 55-45 Seattle. I think it sounded different. There were a lot of Patriots fans there, and they were pretty sad. They were pretty bummed. Sucks for them.
I would imagine. RJ Ochoa, who does not apparently want to talk about his wonderful hotel situation there in San Francisco, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let's talk some Dallas Cowboys. Now that the offseason is officially here, the idea, and Jerry Jones had a quote the other day when he talked with some members of the Dallas media there before NFL Honors on Thursday. And Joseph Hoyt in the Dallas Morning News wrote about this, but this one quote really jumped out at me about how, and I'm paraphrasing, he didn't expect either Seattle or New England to be there, but he's paid attention to how they got there. And how they got there was spending money in free agency. Do you think by that one quote that Jerry will approach free agency differently than he has in years past?
Well, I think that we all understand the obvious stipulation here that we've all burned our hand on this stove before. Like, so none of us are like fully like, hey, this feels different. So acknowledging that, I will say I do think this isn't like trying to sell a T-shirt, Jerry, right? Like the all-in thing was very clearly trying to sell a T-shirt. It could be snake oil salesman and all that, same typical jazz and type of party line. But I do believe it. I mean, Joe's an incredible reporter, and based on what he wrote, and I agree it was a great article, based on what David Moore wrote in Z Magazine yesterday, what other people closer to the situation in the DFW market are saying, I do buy a little bit. I buy at least that there is an intent. And I would not be willing to entertain it if not for the Christian Parker hiring. Now, I also want to be clear that we are giving the Cowboys flowers for, being different and, open-minded in terms of hiring Christian Parker when this is something that other NFL teams do like every day. So we're over here like, wow, great job. You guys, you walked a few steps. Good for you. But the reality of the situation is that is different for them. They did do something outside of their comfort zone, not according to their norm. So I'm willing to believe that they're looking at this and saying, okay, and I don't think it's because it's been 30 years because the Eagles have been successful. I think it's just because they feel like doing this right now. And sometimes that's different than what it may wind up ultimately being.
RJ, all of those things are true. The defense, though, is the issue, right? I mean, and when you're looking at that, that's got to be fixed at least somewhat. Do they have enough money to go out and fix that thing? Because I'm not sure, even if you draft two of the best guys and both of them hit, which the odds are always against that, if one of them hits, that's not going to be enough to fix that defense. That's where, if Jerry's going to spend money, I want him to spend money there and fix that defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be clear, the bulk of the work will be done in free agency. And that's why it is so hard to believe, because I think we look at the draft and we say, oh, the Cowboys are going to own this draft because they have multiple first-round picks. Okay, that's true, but they don't have a second-round pick. They don't have a third-round pick. So, I mean, they really actually have, fewer than normal draft capital relative to top 100 picks, which are your premium picks in an NFL draft. So, like, if they are going to really do work and really surprise us and really be different, it's going to be because they spent in free agency. And any mock draft you fire up right now is pretty predictable for the Cowboys. It generally has them taking Sonny Styles at 12 and then one of the edge rushers or corners at that 20th overall pick. And that's fine, but they also have needs at a lot of other positions. And you could certainly make an argument for tackle if you're really looking across the entire roster, but they just don't have that many picks. So they're almost kind of painted into a corner to be aggressive in free agency because they don't have those assets in the draft. And I know, look, I will also hand up. I will write the articles about Max Crosby because I'm interested in keeping a roof over my family's head. But that being said, they can't even really do that, right? Like, because they don't have a lot of extra draft capital this year, and they do technically have multiple first-round picks next year, but they can't trade either of them because the better of them, which they don't know obviously which one it'll be, belongs to the New York Jets in the Quinnen Williams trade. So they really don't have the room to operate, in an expansive way relative to the draft. It's going to have to be in free agency, and that's why they might be like, well, crap, we finally have to do work in free agency, so we'll sell it like we're giving everybody what they want.
All right, RJ, you brought up Max Crosby. What about Pickens for Crosby? I mean, because that's obviously one of the options that will be at the Cowboys' disposal.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree that defense wins championships, and the Seattle Seahawks hosted a parade today, because that's true. But George Pickens, the best player on the Dallas Cowboys roster is Dak Prescott. And George Pickens amplifies his greatness. And so I don't want to weaken Dak in the name of helping the defense. There are other ways and other avenues to help the defense. And I obviously agree with the whole world that the defense needs a huge infusion of help. But I just do not want any part of trading away George Pickens when I also think that George Pickens is a carrot for would-be free agents. Like, look at how the Cowboys have rehabilitated him and really kind of turned him around. And they have really been lacking that guy, that model, that example that they can show other free agents. If anything, they were the example of you don't want to go there because look how they've done Dak. Look how they've done CeeDee. Look what they put Micah through. Granted, all these players obviously benefited financially, but George Pickens is a great thing working in their favor, and I would not want to see them trade him at any cost.
Well, I'm going to push back a little bit. Now, I'll give it to you that George Pickens was a model citizen last year. However, it was in a contract year. And a lot of guys are model citizens in a contract year. I want to see what George Pickens does after he signs a contract. Now, whether he does that with the Cowboys or somebody else, because we all know they're going to tag him. They can still negotiate, obviously. But I want to see how he is after he signs that contract, because that's when the tale will be told. I mean, let's face it. I can be a good citizen for a year and then get paid and act like a jackass.
I mean, I think that that's fair, but I would push back, and this isn't a Joe decision, but they knew he was in a contract year when they traded for him, right? Like, they can't hold that against him. Like, they can't, act like this was unfair. Like, they knew that. And that's why, even though I was against the trade, which I told you all at the time, they should have gotten the extension done then. I mean, imagine if, I know I've said this, but, like, imagine if they had, we would be sitting here saying, like, man, y'all are geniuses, because we haven't talked a lot about this, but the threat of Puka Nacua getting paid is out there. Right, like the threat of the market rising is working against them. And so you don't have the horses to go be active in free agency and take care of George Pickens all at the same time because you're the Cowboys and that's how you like to operate. So I really don't – I'm not bothered by the George Pickens thing. And I think if anything, CeeDee missed a handful of games. And George was incredible. Like, and in fact, there were – I love CeeDee and I'll he has my sword. But, like, there were games where CeeDee wasn't the guy that George Pickens was. So I think he's proven more than enough to justify, a market rate contract at this point. But I do agree with you, Joe, that it would certainly – the hope is that he continues to play that way.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And as CD told us last week on Radio Row, if Pickens ends up making more than him, he's cool with that. And if I'm the Cowboys, yeah, you tag him just to make sure he doesn't hit free agency, but you get that deal done before camp so you don't have to deal with any kind of holdout or any of that, because the longer they wait, the more it's going to cost. We've seen that happen with Jerry, and as you mentioned, guys like Puka and others will continue to make that more expensive. Get it done early and go to work. That's what the Cowboys need to do. Another free agent that I was convinced the Cowboys would want to bring back, unless he priced himself out, is Javonte Williams. Last week on Radio Row, some of the people that we were talking to kind of mixed on Javonte Williams returning to the Dallas Cowboys. What did you hear out there?
Yeah, I mean, this is one where I'm okay if they let him walk, and it has nothing to do with Javonte. But it's not easy to replace a franchise running back. I don't know if we want to extend that label to Javonte. He was obviously incredible last year, but it is the easiest thing to do relative to skill positions and whatnot. And so I think if we draw anything from Brian Schottenheimer's inaugural season calling plays, it's that he is the son of Marty Schottenheimer, right? Like, he can institute Marty ball. He can run the ball effectively. And so that's a spot where if you have to sacrifice Javonte Williams, again, I hope he gets signed and paid and nets a comp pick even for the Cowboys in the future. But I'd rather focus on other things. You cannot have it all. You can do a lot. You can do more than the Cowboys typically do. But if you've got to let that one go, I'm totally fine with that. I wouldn't honestly place Javonte in my top 5, priority free agents that the Cowboys have on their roster. And again, a lot of that is just the position that he plays, which is exemplified by the fact that they took this dude off the street that the whole NFL had given up on and turned him into something great.
I thought he was great, but I'm kind of with you. There are a lot of running backs out there in the free agent market that can probably be brought in and not cost you as much as Javonte Williams might, because the way he played this year, somebody may give him a big contract that Jerry's just not willing to pay. Let me ask you about the offensive line, RJ, and I mean this in all sincerity. Guys like Guyton. There are a couple of others. I'm not sold on that offensive line as a unit. I think there are some pieces there that still need to prove themselves. And I know the Cowboys are focused on defense, but what is your overall thoughts on the offensive line and some of the guys that you know who I'm talking about that, just haven't gotten there yet?
I think the Cowboys probably agree with you, because we saw Tyler Smith play left tackle down the stretch over the final couple of games of the regular season, and they've kind of waffled obviously around him for a few years now. Will they kick Tyler Guyton out to right tackle? If they do, will they then officially slide Tyler Smith over to left tackle? Will they move Guyton out to right tackle but keep Smith at guard? Will they keep Guyton at left tackle and keep Smith at guard? Those are a lot of questions that they have to answer, and that impacts their needs as well, right? Will they need a left tackle? Will they not? Will they need another interior lineman? And so then that goes back to, you only have 2 top 100 picks. You do have those 2 first-round draft picks. That's why you have to be aggressive in free agency, because there are only 2 picks. You can't touch a number of different positions with those 2 things. And so I think that they share that sentiment, and that's why, they've got it delayed. And I think soon enough we'll see what their intentions are with how they're going to shuffle that thing around.
Well, then watching Will Campbell just get torched in the Super Bowl, all you could think is, that'd be Tyler Guyton. No, he's hurt now. We didn't know about that beforehand. His pride is certainly hurt. RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com. Always appreciate it. It's going to be a fun offseason. We'll visit again next Wednesday with the latest.
That sounds good. Well, congratulations to you guys for going viral last week with your CeeDee Lamb question. That was fantastic work, fantastic journalism, and I'm glad that I could deliver on my promise from 10 years ago to this radio station and find out what Kirk Cousins thinks about the Spurs.
Better late than never, RJ.
That's right. It's done. Cross it off the list, finally.
That's it.
Cross it off the list. One day he'll tell you about his hotel room in San
I'm curious
Francisco.
now. I'm going to call you after the show,
not
RJ.
Today.
It's not suitable for radio. I'll just say that.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
That is funny.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, RJ
Ochoa.
RJ Ochoa on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Interesting stuff, as always, from RJ Ochoa. And is Kirk Cousins still a Spurs fan?
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah, but
All
he
right.
likes all the Michigan State guys.
All right. Well,
I really didn't remember that, except for when he was like, yeah, you said, because he had said something right then about the Spurs and being a Spurs fan, and he was going to go interview him, and he was like, what do I ask him? I said, talk to him about the Spurs, because everybody else is going to talk about other stuff, and you're going to get a different interview with them if you go that route, and he failed.
And those guys appreciate that.
Yeah.
They're not answering the same damn question over and over and over again. So outstanding stuff. All right, we're going to take a break. We're live here at Novo, and we've got some folks in here registering for the Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets. It's the only way you can win them today. You got to come down here. You got to fill out the form, and you got to put it in the box, and we're going to draw a winner at the end of the show. That's the only way you can do it. We're at Novo. It is attached to NorthStar Mall on the Rector side of NorthStar Mall. You pull in the parking lot there, boom, it's got its own entrance, and you can walk right in here and enjoy an ice cold beer or food or both, whatever you want. When we come back, some interesting stuff on the headline Blitz, Jason. A former NFL quarterback says the hell with California.
Yeah.
The hell with them. We'll tell you who that is and what he said when we return here live from Novo. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. After Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
What's wrong, Cupid? Lost my mojo. These arrows just don't work like they used to. The facts are people fall in love thanks to Connecticut, not poor old Cupid. You don't say. Oh, absolutely. Look over there. She's got silky smooth hair thanks to a Connecticut water softener. He's got softer skin and cleaner clothes, and now they're all lovey-dovey. Makes me sick. Don't feel bad, Cupid. You still have your bow and arrow. I know a Connecticut runs on kinetic energy like my bow and arrow. There's no computer to break. A Connecticut has it all.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
You know, you're right. I love my Connecticut too. My diaper has never looked so white. And my wings, oh, I look good.
Cupid, you can always come to work for me, but you're going to have to wear pants.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Congratulations to UTSA running back Robert Henry Jr. He's officially received an invitation to the 26th NFL Scouting Combine. It takes place between February 22nd and March 2nd at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. San Antonio Spurs won last night easily, beating the Lakers. Victor Wembanyama had 40 points, 25 of those in the first 8 minutes. They're back in action tonight at Golden State.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Whatever you are doing, however you are doing it, you should be down here at Novo. That's where we are. It's attached to NorthStar Mall. It's got its own entrance. You can walk right in, have a cold beer, something to eat, and all of that. And you can register for Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix.
And you know what I've learned here today at Novo is this is the great office space. because Gabe is over there doing work. Rudy's over there doing some work. Guy, I won't say his company T-shirt over there doing some work. And all with water in front of them, which is crazy because they're working.
What does beer count as water?
Oh, there's a lot of water in it.
Well, there is a lot of water in beer. I'm just saying. I just wanted to know.
Dude, I was trying to be, subtle.
Well, I didn't say who's drinking beer.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Jacob looks like he's having a Dr. Pepper.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they put something in there, though.
Well.
Could be.
It's possible.
There's a full bar here at Novo.
Absolutely, there's full bar.
Yes.
So you hear it's Novo Brazilian Brewery, but they have all kinds of beer here. It's not like one of them hoity-toity breweries that only sells theirs and frowns upon you.
Right.
You want anything to drink, they got it here.
Absolutely.
They've got it here, and if they don't, they got something close to what you want. But, I mean, you go in any bar, those taps up there, the bottles up there, and the food here is fantastic. I had the shrimp skewers for lunch. You had the picanha.
Picanha skewers. And, dude, they're awesome. They're fantastic. They come with the rice and beans. We had the French fries, maybe the best French fries in town.
Yeah, their fry seasoning is something else. I'm really curious on the fry seasoning they have here, but those fries were fantastic. And if you're like, you want wings, they got them. Yep. They got burgers.
They got steaks here. If you want to come in and have a ribeye steak, you can do that.
See, and that's it. I was thinking because Ryan Eagle's buying today. He's like, don't buy the ribeye.
No, I'm not buying. Jasmine's buying.
Oh, Jasmine?
Yeah,
well, hell, I should have bought the ribeye then. The good thing is we're here for another couple hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can still order
Jasmine's
again.
buying?
Well, that's what I heard. I don't know.
Jasmine's giving me the look. All right.
Absolutely.
I mean, we could try the ribeye.
Yeah, well, I bet it's pretty damn good. That picanha, let me tell you something. It's fantastic.
Well, look, picanha is a great cut of meat.
Yeah.
And, it's one thing to do it at home. And I do picanha at home a couple of different ways. I was curious what it would be like in a restaurant. And it's a Brazilian place. Of course, they did it right with the chimichurri sauce. That chimichurri that they have here is fantastic. So get on down here to Novo. Register to win the Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets. We're not giving away to caller number 18. We're not doing it on YouTube. You got to come in and you got to register. So come see us here at NorthStar Mall. And you don't even have to go into the mall to get here. You can walk right into their doors because while it's at the mall, they don't go with mall hours.
Well, and look, if you can't find a babysitter, they got a kids area over there. It's a kid-friendly place. You can bring your kid in here if you want to. And if you guys, you want to come in, the girlfriend or wife wants to go shopping, she can do that. So it's just a one-stop place that's going to make everybody happy.
It's funny you bring up a kids area. That leads us into the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novo Brazil Brewery in NorthStar Mall. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Yeah. Speaking of a kids area, there certainly seems to be a theme with those associated with the New England Patriots. We all know Bill Belichick is dating a 24-year-old. Tom Brady apparently is dating a 25-year-old.
Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Well, he's Tom Brady.
He is Tom Brady. Hell, I saw her in person last week in San Francisco at that EA party. It's good to be Tom Brady.
It certainly is, yes.
Danny Amendola is dating a 21-year-old.
Wow.
Robert Kraft. He's now married to a 54-year-old.
Is that his masseuse?
No.
Maybe she gave great happy endings and he wanted to marry her.
The total age difference between them is 121 years old.
Unbelievable. Hey, look, if you're rich and you're famous, why not?
Dude,
I mean,
How old is your youngest?
My youngest, 25.
Right. I just spent a week with my 27-year-old. I don't know how these dudes are dating anything. I just don't know.
Well, I wish Tom Brady was dating my 25-year-old.
Well, I mean, you got a point
awesome.
there. Well, dating or get married.
Well, whatever. He do whatever the hell he wants. Honey, you got to take it. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh.
That's what the kids area is for over there. Exactly.
For Tom and his girlfriend?
Yeah, well, just the girlfriend until he's ready to go home.
Absolutely. Good for them.
At some point, you have to have a conversation.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Because,
Yes.
27-year-olds know everything.
Dude, hey, they know everything when they're 15. You know how that is. My
exactly.
goodness.
Exactly. At the Super Bowl last week, in the stories are coming out now, and maybe it isn't as well known as I thought it was, but when you're an athlete or if you're a musician, when you have big concerts in California, you pay a different tax on the day that you're working there. And so like the Spurs, they worked in California last night. They're working in California tonight. They will get taxed on those particular games. Well, Sam Darnold's tax bill is more than the money he made playing in the Super Bowl because they were there for 7 days, so you get taxed all the 7 days that you're working there. And Sam Darnold is a California resident, so his tax is a little bit higher because apparently his accountant hasn't told him, dude, get a P.O. box in Montana.
Exactly.
Boomer Esiason on his radio show in New York, WFAN, went off on the California tax situation and has an idea for the NFLPA.
For winning the Super Bowl, the winning team, each player gets $178,000. In other words, the Super Bowl isn't a part of their salary. And because the game was played in California, and California has a jock tax, and they look at duty days, so each team spends 7 days in the state of California. So those are 7 duty days, and they pierce your regular salary at 3.5%. So he has to pay when you take into account he got the $178,000 plus his overall salary. He has to pay the state of California for spending 7 days there $249,000.
Jeez,
that's just so stupid.
I mean, it really is.
But it ends up costing him $71,000 to go play in California. Now, if I'm the NFLPA, and you got to remember, it's probably even more than that because since he's in Seattle, he's playing against San Francisco 49ers. So that's another day he's there. And he's playing against the LA Rams. That's another day he's there. So he's probably had like 9 or 10 duty days, or maybe even more than that in the state of California. So if I'm the NFLPA, I'm like, hey, we're not playing any more Super Bowls in California. We're just not doing it.
Hey, the CBA negotiations will come up here in a couple of years. Maybe they can put that in there. I just don't think Roger Goodell and the owners in the NFL would allow that to happen, would allow that to be taken away from California. Hell, it's in California again next year.
Yeah, in Los Angeles. But, all these guys know that became such a big story. Maybe the awareness is there because it is just so much more. And part of that is he's a California guy. It's expensive to go there. You hear from some of these big concerts and whatnot that they, don't necessarily like going to California because it costs them more than they make while they're there. It is a bizarre story. So is this out of Seattle. Now, I don't know what to make of this story because, man, it was devastating. There are some new reports now that Kurt Cobain, these reports suggest that maybe it wasn't suicide. A team of specialist forensic scientists are studying the autopsy, the crime scene photos, everything about it, and they're now saying, this looks a little bit more like murder than suicide. Now, you go back to 1994, and you think about Nirvana and Kurt Cobain at the time, and just all of it, and I don't know what to believe. Now, the King County, which is the county where Seattle is in, their medical examiner says, look, there is no evidence that suggests we need to reopen this investigation. But there is a lot of stuff there in this report that makes you go, I honestly, I don't know what to think because, the troubled singer, and there's so many of them, they're just the artistic type, and they end up committing suicide, whether it's a Kurt Cobain or a Chris Cornell or any of them. It just, unfortunately, is part of the territory, but it was ruled suicide so quickly and accepted. And this many years later, they're saying, maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of it, Jason. But it is an interesting report. And I read the article, and it's just like, it makes you think. It's just like, wow, okay, well, I never thought about that, or that's interesting. So, I sit here and I say, well, I hope it wasn't murder. But, gosh, if it was suicide, there's no good choice there. And so, boy, I don't know what to take of that. Again, I'm afraid that we'll never know the real reason or if the truth will ever come out.
Well, even if they were to say, you know what, maybe this was murder, trying to figure out who did it would be a challenge. Although I'm reading about a PI that was hired days before. I don't know. But now there's all these questions. And I just think about, at that stage in my life, and what Nirvana was. And one of the cooler concert experiences that my wife and I ever had, because she is from Seattle, we just happened to be in Seattle shortly after all of this. And in Pioneer Square, there was a concert they went to. It was $25, and it was Nirvana without Kurt Cobain. There was a stool on the stage with a flannel on it, and the crowd sang everything Kurt Cobain would have sang.
Oh, that's cool.
It was one of the cooler moments before cell phones and cell phone cameras and all that kind of stuff. And there were even questions whether that was actually Nirvana or, was that really Grohl on the drums or, all of that. I have no idea because it was 94, 95, when we saw that. But that were one of the cooler experiences. I just want to kind of leave it alone and have that. You know? It's kind of like the people that wonder if Elvis is actually dead.
I know,
right?
He's living with Michael Jackson
in Kalamazoo, Michigan,
exactly.
Right? It's what my mom believes anyway.
Crazy stuff. Maybe we'll find the answer. Maybe we will not. I tell you what, an answer that Adam Silver needs to come up with. And look, I know everybody I'm talking to out there is happy as hell because of that big, tall alien we got. Tanking is running rampant in the NBA. Tanking. And people are starting to talk about it and make some noise about it. We're going to do the same thing when we continue here live from Novo. That's where we are. Come see us. It's attached to NorthStar Mall. Have yourself an ice-cold beer and some food and register for Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brazil Brewing Company, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 60 feet of LED video walls and 80 craft beers and kombucha on tap. Novo is attached to NorthStar Mall and open late hours to serve you. If you haven't checked out the new Novo Brazil Brewing Company attached to NorthStar Mall, what are you waiting for? We're talking craft beers and kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens. This is San Antonio's newest sports watching destination. It's Novo Brazil Brewing Company's first Texas location and is conveniently attached to NorthStar Mall and open late hours to serve you. Fresh Novo Poke Nachos, Picanha Prime Sirloin, burgers, and more. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
George gets justice. You've heard the national lawyer ads. Same story, different name. But when you've been through something traumatic in San Antonio, you need a local team who fights for real results. That's why so many get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George is from here, listens to people, and fights to help them get their maximum compensation. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Start your weekend with the Blitz this Friday as we broadcast live at the Rue Pub, 281 in Redmond Road. All-Star Weekend is here, and you know the best place to watch all the festivities from L.A. is at the Rue Pub. From Friday's Rising Stars game to All-Star Saturday, the dunk contest, the three-point shootout, and, of course, on Sunday, a brand-new All-Star game format. No better place to watch than the Rue Pub, 281 in Redmond Road. So start your weekend with the Blitz this Friday. We'll see you at the Rue.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants, and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Plus free premium delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your team, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There it is. Back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're live at Novo, attached to NorthStar Mall. Come see us. Register for Jelly Roll, Post Malone tickets. Only way you can win them is if you come down here and sign up for them. We've got some breaking news happening right now. Go ahead.
Jeremy Sohan no longer a San Antonio Spur.
The Spurs and Sohan have agreed on a release. So they have released him. He is gone and now free to decide on where he wants to play. I'm sure he'll have some suitors out there, I would imagine. But Jeremy Sohan no longer a San Antonio Spur. They agreed to let him go. So interesting.
And not a surprise, as they've been trying to trade him since the summer, and they couldn't find anything. And to me, that is a surprise. At some point, as I did see last week at the deadline, they weren't getting the value they wanted in return. And now you're just going to let them walk. Now, the flip side of this is they freed up a roster spot. So if there is that veteran guy that they want to be able to bring in, or maybe somebody from Austin, not a veteran guy, but it does free up the roster spot. But we knew this was going to be the ending of the story when we heard that about 2 weeks ago, the agent was allowed to try to find a trade partner, and Jeremy not happy with his current role with the San Antonio Spurs. Again, this is not a surprise. And again, for a high draft pick, what a bust.
A complete bust.
And again, not necessarily his fault in the sense of, I mean, everything changed when they picked up Victor Wembanyama, when they tanked to get Victor Wembanyama, and that worked out. Interestingly enough, now tanking is a big issue again because the way Utah is tanking and everybody's up in arms. I think we all agree. We all hate the idea of tanking, but the rules are set up that encourages tanking. Most aren't as blatant as what Utah has been doing this year, and ESPN's Bobby Marks just went off on what the Utah Jazz are doing.
I think what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. The ability to sit players, starters, in the fourth quarter, to not call timeouts in the fourth quarter. Orlando won the game on Saturday because they basically rested players, and it backfired on them last night. So I think if you're the league, you're looking at it. All right, can we do some gimmicks? Can we alter protections, eliminate protections as far as picks, or can we put the hammer down?
You know, I don't know why everybody's saying this now. It's just because Utah's doing it right in front of everybody's face and making it clear that that's what they're doing. That I remember the conversations we had. Spurs fans were thrilled the Spurs were tanking, and it was out in the open. And we said back then, it ruins the integrity of the game. So the rules are set up for that. And so I don't blame the Jazz necessarily. Adam Silver's got to fix this, though, somehow, some way.
And I think, again, all of us hate the idea of tanking. All of us. Me, you driving on Highway 90 right now. We all hate the idea of tanking. Although when it's our team doing it.
Exactly.
You look at it a little different because you get a chance at the number one pick. All the different things that we had for Wemby, or you go back when it was Andrew Luck. You wanted to suck for Luck. Yeah, I mean, when there is that prize, it's worthy of, all right, this is what we're doing. We're not going to win games. Can we win the lottery? What do we have to do to suck the best to be able to get that number one pick? Except for, benching guys the entire fourth quarter is the integrity of the game, as Bobby Mark said. It was the last 5 minutes because organizations tank, players don't. And if your guys are out there, they're going to compete. That's what they're going to do. And maybe just because we're finally tired of it, and when it's that blatant, that in your face, you go from there.
Now, you hit the nail on the head a minute ago. If it's your team doing it, you're happy as hell.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly right. You're happy as hell. Utah Jazz fans are thrilled with what they're doing. Spurs fans were thrilled with what they were doing.
It's hypocritical as hell.
It is.
It is. And I'm with you. But now that the Jazz are doing it, it sucks. Brian Windhorst was talking about the Jazz tanking situation with Rich Eisen.
Their pick is top 8 protected from a deal they made like years ago. So their only pathway in Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah, is to get that highest pick. And so that is the incentive, and I am showing you the results.
Yeah, but we're not even a President's Day weekend.
I agree.
It doesn't seem it gets earlier and earlier.
Yes.
And earlier that the plug gets pulled.
Absolutely. And where it's spilled over is that now, for years, people would say, oh, they're tanking. But the players who are on the court aren't tanking.
Right.
The tanking was done on the injury list. But what's happening with Utah now, the stakes are so high for Utah, and there's so much tanking going on elsewhere. There's so much competition for tanking that they are now actively taking their players off the court. So Larry Markkinen.
Except for the fourth quarter.
He had 20 the other day. He had 27 points in 27 minutes. They sat him on the bench, and then their coach, Will Hardy, stuck his hands in his pocket. Literally stuck his hands in his pockets and watched as his team gave up a 17-point lead. Didn't even call timeout. That's he knows the assignment. And by the way, before the season started, he was given a very lucrative contract extension. And when he signed it, he understood this is what I'm being paid to do. I'm being paid to do what the organization wants me to do.
It's the Don Draper line. That's what the money is for. It's the Mad Men line.
But Will is frustrated, but he's doing what he's been assigned to do.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he has no choice but to do what he's told to do. But again, the integrity of the game portion is the fact that they're resting their starters in the fourth quarter. They were ahead when the fourth quarter began and got beat. So, and I don't remember what team beat them. But if you're talking about playoff seeding and you're playing a team that is blatantly tanking, I mean, your sport is just such that, why don't we just pick teams to go to the playoffs then?
What is the better solution? You reward suckage. And we see that in the NFL. Remember when the Houston Texans won a game, they had no business winning, and they ended up with C.J. Stroud, right? They could have had the number one pick, and they didn't. It didn't happen this year. The Giants won a game, and that cost them a couple, because when you're rewarded for suckage, and when your team sucks, you want them to continue to lose as a fan, because that gives you hope for the future. As a fan, when the Spurs were doing it, or Utah fans now, because there is that hope that you can get the lottery and get that player to turn things around. That gives you hope, and you got to suffer through the losses. But knowing what the benefit is, if they take away that benefit and take away the lottery, what's a better solution? Nobody in any sport has come up with a better way to come up with the draft and who's picking number one.
It just doesn't seem as blatant in other sports as it seems to be in the NBA. It is blatant in the NBA. And obviously the lottery system is not working. It's just not. And so how you fix that, that's a good question. But I'm not the commissioner of the NBA. I don't have to come up with that. Can you imagine the calls and the stuff that Adam Silver is getting right now about this Utah situation? I mean, what's he going to do, put his head in the sand and not do anything? Oh, well, that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter. And again, if you're a fan of a particular team in the NBA, you are happy as hell your team is doing that. And it just goes against everything that sports is all about. Every single thing that sports is all about. And that's why it pisses me off. And quite frankly, pissed me off when we were doing it for Wemby.
Again, and we got Wemby. Adam Silver kind of adjusted load management by minimum number of games played to qualify for postseason awards, which also impacts contracts. Last year, Wemby would have won Defensive Player of the Year, even though he missed half the year, except for he didn't play enough games to qualify. He's skirting that issue now. Now people are saying, well, is that rule too strict? But it was an effort to stop load management. How can he stop tanking? Maybe there's no guarantees with the number of lottery balls. If you're not in the playoffs, you've got whatever the lottery is, just as good of a chance as everybody else. Maybe you just take that part away. The top or bottom number of teams, lottery to win it, and your odds are the same as everybody else's. No increased odds for suckage.
Well, something's got to be done for sure, because it's just, Utah is making a mockery out of the NBA right now. That's what they're doing. They're completely making a mockery out of the NBA, and Adam Silver's got to be embarrassed as hell. But look, Utah's not the only ones. Teams from all over the place have made a mockery of the NBA, including our own San Antonio Spurs. And so something's got to be done, and I hope somebody does something to fix this stuff. I'm not smart enough to figure out what that answer is. No. I don't know. Maybe a guy that, is a Spurs Jesus has the answer for that, or something like that. Should we call on him?
Spurs Jesus?
Spurs Jesus.
Well, I mean, Jeremy Sohan gets waived. We need to pray for the career that was.
Well, let's do that.
R.I.P. Jeremy Sohan.
We will
as a
talk to
Spur.
Spurs Jesus, who joins us live here at Novo. That's where we are. They're attached to NorthStar Mall. Come on in here and see us, party with us, have some food, have some drink, and register for the Post Malone Jelly Roll concert tickets coming up in May. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing, though, while I got you here. You know, I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Great family-owned company, local company, and they're just absolutely the best in the business. There is no question about that. And I know that because let me tell you something. They've been in business since 1983. 1983. I want you to think about that for a minute, and that should tell you everything you need to know about the reputation and the work that Stevens Roofing does. And now, well, they've added solar to what they do. If you've been thinking about solar panels, now is the perfect time to get that project underway. And the perfect company to call is Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They've got an experienced team that will listen to you. They'll want to know what you want to do, what you were hoping to get out of this, and they'll put a plan together and get it done, and you know it's going to be done right. If you think there's a problem with your roof, if you found a leak, or it's just been a while since you've had it checked out, call Stevens Roofing and Solar. They'll send a team out to your house. They'll check your roof for free, and they'll let you know what's going on up there, if it's okay, if there's a minor situation, or whatever the case may be. But you know you can trust what they have to say. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the best in the business, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a small Friday on the Morning Huddle, or a Thursday to you guys. Oh, baby. USA Hockey getting underway. How do they fare to start out their Olympic run?
I'm feeling very Olympic today. And did the Golden State Warriors lay down for the Spurs? Will that make 3 straight? We'll talk about that in my Gold Fever coming up tomorrow. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Folks, there's nothing romantic about home repairs, but when your plumbing has lost that love and feeling and your AC is about to achy break your heart, call Quarterman Plumbing, Heat, and AC at 210-651-5899. We'll fix the issue fast at a great price with a servant spirit.
Joel, this is a special Valentine gift from me to you.
Yeah, but why are your arms red?
I got a deal on this plant for your office.
That's poison ivy, Nigel.
It's what? Ah!
Border Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
All eyes now on basketball, and you know Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action, make picks, and win money right now in Texas. Hi, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Playing on Underdog is easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You think about Wemby and points or blocks, Steph Castle and assists, and I really like Keldon Johnson and points coming off the bench. Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
We talked about it as soon as we heard about it. The Spurs have released Jeremy Sohan. He is no longer a member of the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs in Golden State tonight to take on the Warriors. This is the Blitz live from Novo. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix.
And RIP to Jeremy Sohan's Spurs career, where he averaged 10.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 2.6 assists in his years with the San Antonio Spurs. So we will pray over it with one Spurs Jesus, who just happens to walk in at the right moment. Jeremy Sohan, RIP, and here is Spurs Jesus.
Hey, I walked in right as he walked out of San Antonio, man. But glad to be here. You know, I do got to say that obviously you just said the stats. The stats really weren't really super duper impactful for the Spurs with Sohan, but I do like that he had that little bit of Rodman tenacity to him. You know, he would get off the bench like a dog and jump in the fight anytime. And so I feel like I did like that about him, but we'll see. Spurs look like they're doing just fine after the game last night.
Yeah, and he hasn't played much anyway.
Yeah.
I just, for whatever reason, this wasn't a spot for him.
Yeah.
With this new and improved Spurs team, so he just didn't fit in at all. Got to talk to you though. We're here at Novo.
Yeah.
And I see I go over there and I see a post review, and you're hosting an all-star watching party here on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Sunday fun day here at Novo is going to be crazy. They have a car show in the morning, so it's like a jam-packed full day full of fun stuff here at Novo. The car shows, I believe, from 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
And then our event starts at 3 o'clock. And then, of course, tip-off for the game starts at 4. You know, I'm super excited. This is Wemby's first time as an all-star starter, so that's going to be incredible to watch. And after the show he put out last night in L.A., I mean, he seems like he's not holding anything back, and he's ready to let it loose. And especially he's even said it on the All-Star stage to really show kind of, you guys need to bring the tenacity for the fans here. So I'm excited.
Well, you know what we're seeing, and we saw this in a game a couple of weeks ago where he got pissed off.
Yeah.
And pissed off Wemby is fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Last night he looked like he was pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, he benched all your guys against me. I'll show you. I like this pissed off Wemby.
Well, he said in the post game that they wanted to make a statement, and it was time to show how much the team has progressed. And I mean, you obviously clearly can see it. I saw a stat the other day that I think the Spurs are one of the top 3 teams favored to win the championship this year.
Right now. Detroit, and Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about that.
Not at all.
Let's go.
Well, and who knew, right? I mean, nobody expected this. I don't think this fast this year.
For the listeners that can't see me right now, my hand is raised in the air. My hand is raised in the air. I did bet before the season that the Spurs would win the championship. I mean, the odds were in my favor on that. If we win, we get a lot of money. But you got to be faithful. You got to be faithful for the team, right?
Well, of all people with some divine intervention, it would be Spurs Jesus.
Hey,
and
let's
again,
go.
A lot of us, you go to Vegas, $20-$50 on your team to win, even if it's a long shot, just so you have that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it pays off. Anybody that did that with Seattle this year, they're really happy.
Yeah.
And nobody thought the Seahawks, except for diehard fans, were going to, and those people cash big tickets. But, you think about the All-Star game becoming more competitive. All of us at our age remember when it was, and the get off my lawn types, when it was a Dr. J or a Michael Jordan or those days.
Yeah.
Wemby said last night in L.A., he wants the All-Star game to be more competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
That comes from the fact, I ain't gonna lie, that comes from the fact that I've seen the All-Star game, and obviously it hasn't been competitive. And I've always thought myself that if I was in there, I'm never stepping up to the court to lose, or not caring. Just like at home, I'm never stepping into a board game not caring if I'm going to lose, So I'm thinking it's okay to lose. So I'll be out there. I might as well win.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy is ready. I think he's ready to show the NBA that he's ready to take over. Yeah. And this is a good opportunity for him to do that on Sunday. And of course, you can watch it right here at Novo with Spurs Jesus.
It's going to be an incredible game. I mean, how do you guys feel about the new, orientation layout of the All-Star game with the round robin, USA versus the world? I got to say the world team is pretty freaking stacked, though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's scary. I'm curious to see how this new format's going to work.
Yeah.
All right. They got to do something with the All-Star. All of these All-Star games.
Every
like
sport.
the flag football thing they did last week on a Tuesday that nobody watched.
Yeah. That was tough.
But we talked to CeeDee Lamb last week on Wednesday, the day after. He said the players had fun with it.
Yeah.
So the league's balance of what do the players want to do to where they're going to be engaged to what fans want to watch, because nobody watched the Pro Bowl last Tuesday.
So what would you call the Pro Bowl then? Like a team building event?
Yeah, I guess so. And ESPN could give a damn whether the players are happy or not. They just want eyes on what they're doing out there. So.
That's what. But the guys have to wait. And like Kyle Rudolph said, when they moved it from Hawaii, guys quit wanting to go.
Yeah.
I mean, if Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, we've got a problem, right?
Yes.
At least right now, most of the stars in the NBA will at least play in the game, but I still want to see the big stars in the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Carter Bryant. And again, last year we had Steph Castle in the dunk contest. I thought he should have won, but Carter, man, he can get up.
Yeah,
I'm saying I got my bet placed on him too to win that.
You're not a homer, are you?
Yeah, no,
not at all.
No. Yeah, I don't like donuts either. No, but I think the All-Star game will be great this year. I think Wemby's going to crush it. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Here at Novo, absolutely. So if you guys never been here before, you got to make sure you guys come out and try it. We were talking off air about the food. Have you guys tried any of the grub here?
Today was my first day here. I had the shrimp skewer at lunch. Now apparently you've eaten everything here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Again,
now their menu. If you're watching on YouTube, I've got their menu here. I mean, this is not your typical bar menu.
Yeah.
Right. And it certainly isn't bar food. They have ribeye here.
Yeah.
Ribeye skewers.
Yeah. The best way I try to explain it to somebody when I explain Novo to them is think Brazilian steakhouse meets high upscale sports bar.
Sure.
It's not they're going to come to your table and you flip the card with never ending meats, but you can order some of the Brazilian favorites, the picanha, like we talked about, the ribeye skewers and stuff like that. They have the caipirinhas, the famous Brazilian kind of version of a margarita here. But then you got some regular bar food too, like your wings and stuff like that. The wings are pretty good here too.
The wings are fantastic. Yeah. And I tell you what, the kombucha. I don't know. You could try that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even need to do anything to it. It's already already alcohol.
You don't have to turn it into anything. It really is good. I got to get Minix to try some before we leave here tonight, because he's never tried it.
You can think about it's you can feel less guilty about it because it's got pre and probiotics. It's good for your gut.
Sure.
And you can get your nice little afternoon relaxation.
Is that the selling point? Are you an athlete? Is it good? And will I feel good?
Yes. It's good for your gut health, man.
Yes.
Well, look, I mean, your Spurs Jesus, even their wine selection is pretty impressive.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I'm telling you, all of that stuff. I had a smash burger the other day, which is fantastic. We tried the wings, and let me tell you, the French fries.
Oh, yeah.
Might be the best I've had in town.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing on the menu is the poke nachos. I like them. I order it with double the tuna, the ahi tuna on it. It is really, really good, light, refreshing. Get it with some sriracha on it if you like it extra spicy. But, I guess really the best thing at Novo beyond the food and drinks, though, is the giant, massive screen they have. I tell everybody when we have a watch party, when it's not a watch party, they have it divided into two different screens, the big screen. But when we have a watch party event like we're going to have for the All-Star game on Sunday, they put the whole thing on the one screen. So it's almost like being in their own little mini movie theater here at Novo Brazil. So
yeah, no, definitely impressive. And, the watch party Sunday for the All-Star game with Spurs Jesus. Now, the last time you were on this show, you kind of had a little event with the mayor, with Project Marvel.
Yes.
What's the latest you're hearing on Project Marvel? Because I know you're knee deep into that.
I mean, it's moving along. I think that there's still some folks in power. You might have already mentioned somebody just 2 seconds ago that keeps trying to do everything they can to kind of slow it down.
If people miss that, Mayor Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to be subtle.
She's in hot water this week too. I guess
she is
getting censored again. But no, I mean the arena's moving along. If you guys haven't been downtown the Hemisphere Park area to look at it, I mean it shocked me the other day. I was driving on the highway and it came over the little highway or the little hill, I guess, right there by the Alamo Dome. And it is completely flattened out now with grass on it. It almost literally caught me off guard for a second because it's been this big construction zone. So they are prepping it and getting it ready for what's coming next. So it's trucking along.
With the political aspect being what it was, I was a little surprised to read that Judge Sakai has apparently done a little bit of an about face on Project Marvel. What are you hearing there? And again, for people that don't know, Spurs Jesus is really tied into all this stuff.
He is, yes.
Yeah. His real job.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, I've been deeply ingrained in what's going on in San Antonio for a long time, but I've been Spurs Jesus for 15 years.
Wow.
And so, I've been doing what I've been doing is, pulled me in different directions, and the more folks I get to meet in the community, the better it helps out. When I have a watch party like this, more people like to come out. But the Sakai thing, I don't know. Same thing. I was pretty shocked when I went to a Greater Chamber event for Prop A and Prop B back. I think it was very beginning of November, right before the vote. But he was there and a big advocate for it, and so it was standing right there next to RC, and so now that he's changed his whole tone. I don't know if it's because he's trying to rally voters that are more on that side, because obviously there's a big vote coming up for his election. But I don't know. I don't know what his deal is with that. It just seems very odd to switch that quick.
You may have hit the nail on the head because he's running against Ron Nuremberg, the former mayor. Nuremberg is all in.
Absolutely.
On Project Marvel.
Absolutely.
So maybe Judge Sakai thought, well, I'll go the other side and we'll see what happens and how many voters are there that feel one way or the other.
I feel like it's too, if in my opinion, if you look at the timing on that, it's too close to his stance from just a few months ago. People haven't forgotten about that yet. He was just big time.
He was on our show and was all for it.
I know what he said on our show. And again, by all accounts on that event Friday, everybody, including Ron Nuremberg, you said what?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Right? Because it is such an about face, and we know how politics are. Let's just eventually we'll figure out where the money's at. And,
exactly.
Or what do I have to do to win this election? And I hate politics for that reason. I really do. But
I know a figure dressed like Jesus shouldn't say they hate anything, but I agree with you that I also hate politics, because I think, how can you trust anybody and what do they actually stand for? I will go and say that I have not changed my stance on Project Marvel. We're still very much an advocate for that. But I mean, if you say in November that you're, huge supporter of Project Marvel, and then come now you're up for a re-election in the beginning of February and you say that you're anti-Project Marvel, that's Then what other
and
points
always,
are you making?
And always were.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, I learned this that I didn't know before, so I have a right to change my mind, and I did, and this is why. That's not what he said.
But it doesn't make any sense because where the Frostbank Center is now, they need the Spurs the hell out of there to do what they want to do, and it will only increase the value of that place and add the entertainment that everybody's looking for out there.
Yeah, a day before that public statement came out that he said that he's always been anti-Project Marvel, I was at the Charo breakfast, which is, like the chariada. That it was kind of like the cowboy breakfast, but the Charo breakfast. And Sakai was there with Cody Davenport and some of the head figures of the rodeo. And they were all up there talking about the success of the rodeo and Prop A. And so I'm confused. The very next day he came out and said that he's against it, And so I don't know how you could be for one and not for the other.
It's confusing. There's no doubt about it. I tell you what's not confusing, though. Sunday, you're going to be here at Novo watching the NBA All-Star game. Victor Wembanyama showing everybody else that he's the best.
Yeah, Novo's my favorite place to watch a game. If you guys haven't been here before or you're not aware of our partnership, Novo and I, this will be our third game watching party. We had one back in November. I injured myself, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to be here for December's event. But then we had another one in January. So this is our third. But we've given away Spurs tickets at the watch party. We've given away a Wemby Fiesta jersey, lots of gift cards here to Novo that we give away at the events. It's just high energy, a lot of fun. Everybody's always here having a very positive, very good time. And then, of course, the game is in the midday on Sunday, 4 o'clock.
Yep.
So perfect time to have some Sunday fun day. I don't know who has Monday off. Monday's President's Day.
Yep.
Some people have the day off.
Yep.
So perfect time to come out and have a little bit of extra fun. Drive home safe, all that. But come
how does Spurs Jesus get injured? I'm just curious. How does that happen?
It can't walk on water. I can tell you that.
Well, especially if it's frozen, you definitely cannot do that.
I mean,
this is the importance of stretching. Everyone, make sure you guys do a lot of stretching.
Especially the older you get. Yes.
Do some yoga.
The Achilles, even for Spurs Jesus, is not 100% intact.
I like to say that I took one for the team this season. That way the players stay healthy. I took the injury. The injury bug will leave the players alone this season.
Knock on all the wood.
Yeah, I'm knocking on it.
Knock on all the wood.
Everything.
I'm walking on my wooden peg leg I got now. We talked about it a minute ago that the Seattle Seahawks won. I'm sure you guys have seen this all over social media. The last time they won was 2014. That's when the Spurs won our championship. So, will history repeat itself, and will the Spurs take the W again? So I do want to say, if it happens, they better put like a tiny little napkin or something up in the rafters with a picture of my foot on it, because I took one.
We'll start the process of getting that get a little advertising going for sure.
Yeah, we'll remember that too.
Make your plans now to come out here to Novo on Sunday, a car show that they're having from 10 to 1. And then you can stay right here, have lunch and a few more drinks, and then Spurs Jesus will be here. Yeah. And you can watch the NBA All-Star game. Great place to come. You come out here right now, though. Yeah. We are registering people for Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets.
What?
And you have to come in here and sign up, and we're going to draw at the end of the show. Somebody's going to get a couple of tickets to go see those two fine entertainers.
I'm going to put my name on there right now. But, we'll be here. I'll be here all night, too. There's a big event. BPSA is coming out tonight. Yep. And so there'll be a big old crowd here tonight. Spurs play tonight. They want to watch the game against Golden State, like you said. So great place to come hang out for sure.
It is a great place.
Spurs Jesus, good seeing you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Go Spurs, go. I think we're going to get a sixth ring. What do you think?
Eventually.
That's the goal.
Eventually,
It's going to happen one day. For sure.
Exactly.
It's for sure. All right. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Go Spurs, go. Come see us at Novo.
Yep. Thank you. That's good. Good stuff. That's good about talking to Spurs. Jesus, you can talk sports. You can talk politics. You can talk food, beverage, anything you want.
Yeah, and now Achilles rehab.
And Achilles rehab.
What you didn't have on the bingo card when you're talking to Spurs Jesus. But, it is certainly what it is.
It is what it is. We are live at Novo, though. That's where we are. You need to be here as well. Spurs Jesus is here. You can say hello to him. You can register to win the Post Malone Jelly Roll tickets that we're going to be giving away right after the show today, but you have to register to win them here in person. You can't win them any other way, so you got to come down to Novo. And while you're here, try some kombucha. It's good stuff. Minix is going to try some before we leave here today. It is fantastic. We will return to Novo. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open this Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 this Friday through Sunday.
It's San Antonio's newest sports watching destination, Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Craft beers, kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens conveniently attached to NorthStar Mall, open late. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la. At Target, we're unlocking all the feels this Valentine's Day. It's the perfect time to spread extra love and spoil everyone on your list with unforgettable gifts. First, give a cuddle-worthy surprise with the cutest plush toys, or get party ready and treat yourself to stylish women's dresses you'll heart. Both 20% off. Then dive into the ultimate cozy celebration with your faves with 30% off select women's pajamas. There's something sweet for all your special someones, even you. Find Valentine's Day gifts for everyone at Target.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs today announced that the team has waived Jeremy Sohan. He appeared in 28 of the Spurs' 53 games this season, averaged 4 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 1 assist in about 13 minutes. They drafted him, you'll recall, back in with the 9th overall selection in 2022. Jeremy Sohan no longer. Spurs back in action at Golden State tonight.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a good Hump Day wherever you are and however you're doing that. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and we're live at Novo, the newest sports watching destination.
You know, a great spot here at NorthStar Mall. A couple of great things about it. If you're coming to NorthStar Mall, come down Rector.
Yep.
The entrance, and it's right there. You don't have to go into the mall. But what I love about this idea, you know, as a girl dad, I always thought all these stores need to have a dad chair. When they're doing whatever it is they're doing and you're holding stuff, you need a place to sit down. And not enough of those places have them. This is the great dad chair, if you will.
No doubt.
All right, kiddo, I'm going to be right here. Just drop the bags off and continue shopping, and I'm going to be right here. So you get the credit for going shopping without actually have to deal with it. This is a brilliant idea if you look at it in that way.
You know, and not only that, Jason, they've got an area over there for kids. You can bring the kids in here if you want to as well. So you can watch the game, eat, have some adult beverages while the kids are over there playing, wife's out shopping. It's a perfect opportunity for everybody. Everybody.
Well, and you think about it's been so long since I've been to a mall to do any like serious shopping. But what I have noticed where we're sitting here, because there is a mall entrance and there's windows over there. Ladies like to shop. Guys don't. But I imagine when they're done shopping, they're thirsty.
Of course.
And so the potential might be kind of high, if you know what I mean. Because you don't have to go shopping, but I see just groups of ladies that are going shopping, that are walking by.
Well, and you know what's interesting about that? It seems like if you watch out there for any period of time, we're talking about there's an entrance here into the mall itself, and then Novo has its own entrance from the parking lot. But as people walk by, they look in here like, wow, what is this place?
Yep.
And so I think that's the idea, and the word is starting to get out. And if you come down here once, you're going to come back here again. That I can guarantee you. I've been back 3 times now. My wife, Maggie, loves the place. Brought her in here the first time we came in. She loves it here. And so it's just, you know, you come in here once, you're going to come back.
And if you are any kind of if your job requires networking events, there is a huge network event that's happening here in about an hour and a half, 5:30.
Yep.
The business professionals of San Antonio are having their event here. So if that's your jam, that's just yet another reason to come see us here. And, oh, yeah, Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets.
Oh, yeah, those
We
guys.
are registering people to win those tickets. You got to register here, and we will have a drawing at, right as we go off the air, close to 6 o'clock. Somebody tonight will have those tickets and know that they are going to that show for free.
And what a great show that is going to be. I guarantee it's going to be a great show. There won't be a bad seat in the house. And if you get an opportunity, you want to know how much, if you're thinking about going, how much it would cost you to go to buy tickets. Look at that and then come in here and register. You're going to be happy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely you will. So much going on in the world of sports that we'll get into today. And again, if you're just getting off work and in your car at 4 o'clock, Jeremy Sohan is no longer a member of the San Antonio Spurs. They waived him. Really, it broke about 35 minutes ago. They just waived him. 28 games for he appeared in 28 of the 53 games this season. Obviously, the 9th overall pick in the 2022 draft. They tried to trade him in the summer, couldn't find a taker. Tried to trade him before the deadline, couldn't find a taker. And so they just waived him. Does free up a roster spot. We'll see if he picks up a deal with somebody else. Maybe he's destined for Europe. It is disappointing that you don't even get a second-round pick for the dude.
Well, it's very disappointing since the Spurs burned a 9th overall pick on this guy back in 2022. And, you know, it was to me a controversial pick back then. But I know the fans welcomed him as the Spurs fans do with everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. But with Jeremy Sohan, with the colorful hair and just the player that he was, he just never found a niche. And I think when Greg Popovich tried to turn him into a point guard and it failed miserably, that was kind of the last straw for one Jeremy Sohan.
Well, his game was interesting to begin with. And at the time, and again, with the 9th overall pick out of Baylor, you wondered, all right, this is interesting. What is the plan? And all their plans changed after they got Wemby, and nothing wrong with that. There's just not a spot for him. But the fact that you couldn't even trade him for a bag of chips tells me I'm curious if his basketball career will end up being overseas. Does he have a spot in the NBA? That the Spurs allowed his agent to try to find a trade for him, and they couldn't do it. Now, maybe the Spurs were trying and asking for too much, but ultimately you let him go and you don't get a damn thing in return. That's although it also I'll hold out to think maybe there's somebody they're trying to add in that buyout market and they need that roster spot and they just made it available.
Well, it very well could be. And I go back to Jeremy Sohan for a minute. I think he will have some interest now because you're not going to, if you're a team out there, you're not going to have to give up anything for him, right? So he may be a guy off the bench that can provide some rebounding punch, some defense, and who knows who might be interested in that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sohan on another roster but before the end of the season.
Well, although I'm curious, if you're a championship level team with his game, where does he fit? I was okay when they couldn't trade him of having him there because he has provided some solid minutes for this team and a little bit of toughness when they needed it. And he is a good community dude. I mean, but to just waive him and not get anything in return is I mean, there's only way awful.
Well, it is awful, but you know that I guess life in the big city sometimes that's the way that it goes. But nobody would give them what they want, and I can't imagine that during the trade deadline the Spurs were asking for much. I just don't know that anybody was even a second-round pick was too much for some teams out there. I don't know because Sohan's got a set of skills that is just different. He's certainly not he's not somebody you're going to rely on to come off the bench and give you a lot of points. He's just not going to do that. But if you need somebody defensively to maybe a stop, a rebound or two, he might be adequate enough that somebody will be interested. But they weren't interested enough to give up anything for him.
Well, and again, couldn't trade him over the summer, couldn't trade him at the deadline. It is, to me, zero surprise that they waived him today. And now I'm thinking, okay, they freed up the roster spot. Who could they be looking at to bring in that could fill that sharpshooter, 3-point, maybe another big? It'll be interesting to see what the correlating move will be. I know there's some dudes in Austin that they like, so maybe it isn't that veteran guy on an expiring deal that can play the final 29 games with this team or 20 or whatever it is when that dude finally shows up. But there's a reason they did it today. What is the reason? We won't know until, because it's the Spurs.
Well,
but
absolutely.
But that we've all been around enough. That makes sense.
It's going to be interesting to see. And it's funny, on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, a lot of people pointing out some of the busts that the Spurs have had. Fred Villarreal mentions Josh Primo, Luka Samanic, and now Jeremy Sohan. And there's been others. But again, we talk about it in the NFL all the time. Even first-round draft picks, if the odds are 50% at the best. And so it just happens. Sometimes guys are great in college. They look good to you, and they just don't come in, and they're not able to perform at the NBA or NFL level.
It's interesting because Luka Sandwich, man, was the 19th pick, and Keldon was the 29th pick in that draft.
That's right.
They got the right guys, just at the wrong spot. I don't know that I would call Joshua Primo a bust. He had problems. Well, but it wasn't. It wasn't performance was why it didn't work out. At least not on the basketball court. Yeah. But Lonnie Walker, I think, also would have to fall into that category. And again, Jeremy Sohan had his moments, but they tried him at point guard. They tried him at center, one-handed free throws. I mean, just all of it. But go back to when that draft happened and what they had, and then you think about how different this team looks. So all the pieces they were building with whatever their vision was at the time, Jeremy did kind of make sense. He was always a little odd, but it was an interesting pick. What was Pop in the lab going to do with this guy? He was a project, especially for being a 9th overall pick. But everything changed once you got Wemby, and he just didn't fit anymore. I'm just surprised they couldn't trade him because apparently nobody else was willing to give up even a second-round pick to see if they could make them work.
I just you look at these things too, and we always joke about it's easy to be a general manager. But I remember when that pick was made, it was like we were sitting around the newsroom at Ken's 5 going, why? What? Why this guy?
Yep.
And you couldn't figure it out. And there's been some others like that. And it turns out, it didn't work out. But that's the way it goes with that. And wish Jeremy Sohan nothing but the best, that's for sure. And hope he lands on his feet somewhere while the Spurs continue to soar. Again, they're in action tonight. Second game of a back-to-back. Last game before the NBA All-Star break. Spurs are in Golden State to take on the Warriors. No Steph Curry tonight. So another break for the Spurs. And look, you're not going to, shoot a gift horse in the mouth, so to speak, if that's the old saying. If you get lucky, you get lucky. You just got to take advantage of it. And so they got lucky last night with all the starters for the Lakers being out. And tonight, Steph Curry, best shooter in NBA history as far as I'm concerned, he's out tonight. So the Spurs catching another break, that is for sure. So good for them, and hopefully they can get that done the same way they got it done last night. The Seattle Seahawks had a parade today. They're celebrating. I heard over 1 million people were on hand to witness that parade. And there's some reports out that are floating around about the Dallas Cowboys and one Max Crosby.
Here we go.
We're going to talk about that and who knows what else live at Novo. That's where we are, and you need to be here as well. Attached to NorthStar Mall off the Rector side, the street. Come down Rector, you pull right in here, you can't miss it. Come see us. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And you think about the Spurs-Warriors game tonight, you want to make it more exciting. Make sure you're playing along on Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action. Make your picks and win money right here in Texas. And it's easy and it's fun. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You think about Wemby last night. By halftime, if you had points only, that had turned green. I had points and rebounds. It didn't turn green until the second half. But my overall pick-em entry was rescued because I had Steph Castle on my pick-em entry. He obviously got hurt. So with Underdog Rescues, I get my money back. And ended up not losing any. I didn't win any, but I get the rescue, which is a cool thing and feature that they have on Underdog. And I'll be playing again tonight. Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not his art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm going to make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a small Friday on the Morning Huddle, or a Thursday to you guys. Oh, baby. USA Hockey getting underway. How do they fare to start out their Olympic run?
I'm feeling very Olympic today. And did the Golden State Warriors lay down for the Spurs? Will that make 3 straight? We'll talk about that in my Gold Fever coming up tomorrow. I'll get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here at Novo, attached to NorthStar Mall. That's where we are. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy to be out here today. A lot of folks enjoying a Wednesday afternoon with some food and some cold beverages. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix.
You know, it's interesting is, post Super Bowl, the Seahawks having their championship parade today, and I love and hate watching those because I want my team to be in there. But I saw some video of Reek Woolen. Dude is having a hell of a time. And then you go back and you look and you go, all right, the offseason, it's officially here.
Yeah.
And, it is interesting as, Kubiak gets officially introduced as the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. All the talk is about Max Crosby, who, according to reports, told Mark Davis that he didn't, or told Tom Brady he was done. Mark Davis said he's still a Raider. Kubiak said they had coffee yesterday morning, and
that settles it.
And the conversations are still going. Although there's some, and I don't know, silly season, is that the right term for this?
Sure.
Jason McCourty today on Get Up is suggesting that the Cowboys trade George Pickens for Max Crosby.
If I'm the Raiders, why not go out and trade Max Crosby? And for the Dallas Cowboys, you franchise tag George Pickens. You don't work out a long-term deal. You trade him to the Raiders, get Crosby in exchange. Now you've just beefed up your defensive line. New coordinator coming over. Max Crosby's going to make everybody on the defensive side of the ball better. And on top of that, have you watched the way Max Crosby plays the game of football? He plays every single play of the game. And for the Raiders, you get a weapon as George Pickens. Fernando Mendoza, you need some weapons on the outside? Well, you got one. You got a dog out there in George Pickens.
Well, I tell you what, you just think about that for a minute, and as silly as it may be, you got a Pickens, a Brock Bowers, an Ashton Genty, and all of a sudden you got Mendoza coming into a pretty good situation offensively. But then what do you do defensively if you're the Raiders?
Well,
I don't blame Crosby, Minix, because, I mean, he's sick of losing.
He is, although he seems so into the Raiders. And at the deadline, he didn't want to go anywhere, remember? He's
That's
a
true.
Raider for
Right,
life.
right.
Now, I'm not mad at that. But I'm trying like hell not to let myself get excited for that. Now, if you're telling me straight up Crosby for Pickens, how do you say no to that?
Well, it's hard to say no to it, but you got to think about the money. Remember, Crosby just signed a new extension for about $105 million, 3 years. So what are you talking about, $33 million a year?
All right, well,
roughly.
How much are you going to pay George Pickens?
About that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, if I'm not giving up any of that draft capital that I acquired in the Micah Parsons deal, then if it's straight up like what McCourty suggested, I would seriously explore that.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Tell me where to sign.
Well, and again, though, what makes a good secondary? Is it the pass rush? And guys don't have to cover forever? Or a good secondary gets the pass rush there, the chicken or the egg scenario. If it's straight up, I'm with you. I think I would do that. George Pickens is a dynamic wide receiver. But I've got an example in Cincinnati that having two top-flight wide receivers does not guarantee you success. I have a hard time, though, if I'm Jerry Jones and Will McClay and Brian Schottenheimer, doing anything to weaken the explosive Cowboys offense that at times was pretty pedestrian. And why were they, what were the issues there? There were times where Pickens was the better receiver on the field, not CeeDee Lamb. But I also like what I saw in the development of Flanoy. Mm-hmm. And you got Jake Ferguson, who returned back to Jake Ferguson-style football.
Yep.
They committed to the run game. You had that with Williams, and whether it's Williams or somebody else, if they stay committed to the run game with a capable running back, but can they get another receiver? Kevontae Turpin, nice, but he ain't it. Tolbert, probably gone. But can you draft somebody or find somebody that can fill that void? Hell, is Jonathan Mingo still with us?
I don't think so, and he shouldn't be.
And I say with us in a variety of ways, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier to find another wide receiver than it is, say, to find a edge rusher like Max Crosby. But at his age, how much am I willing to give up? If it's straight up and you tag him and trade him and the Raiders want to sign George Pickens, I'm with you there. But I'm not giving Pickens and one of those draft picks to the Raiders for a Max Crosby.
Well, I'm not sure that you would have to, and I wouldn't do that either. That's for sure. Although I think a Max Crosby immediately makes that defense from just flat out awful to pretty damn good. And that front line, can you imagine that defensive line? If you throw a Max Crosby in there with what they've got already and what they got out of that Parsons trade, that defensive line is going to be as good as any in football. So, I mean, that right there is problem solved. Then you got to figure out the rest of it. Obviously, it still doesn't fix everything, but since there's a lot of problems.
Well, that's it. I mean, as great as Max Crosby is,
he's only 28 years old. Man,
it feels like you got Quinnen Williams. It doesn't sound like they're going to move off of Kenny Clark, and you got Oso Odigizua, who you played. So that's one end. You still got to see what Ezaraku can do. If Max Crosby were a linebacker, I'd be standing on this table. Jerry, do this deal right now. Because the Cowboys really need linebacker help and you need secondary help. They obviously need pass rush help. Are they going to bring back Clowney? And again, I mentioned Ezaraku, his development. I don't know what they're going to do with Sam Williams. Because even Max Crosby, as great as he is, if you don't solve the linebacker issue and you don't improve the secondary, I don't know how effective Max Crosby would be on that Cowboys defense.
Well, here's the difference, and I know I'm not sure whether you agree with me or not. You can let me know after I finish this statement. The difference in a Max Crosby and a Micah Parsons. Max Crosby can stop the run.
Yeah.
He can actually tackle a running back.
Yep.
Where Micah Parsons can't do that. So I don't care whether you're looking at pass rushers mano a mano, maybe Parsons is a little bit better, but an overall player, Max Crosby's the better player.
I agree with that, and stopping the run is key, but when it comes to pass rush and it comes to kind of what you said, you've said it plenty of times. It's not like the Cowboys won with Micah Parsons.
Right.
If they don't make other investments in the defense at linebacker and in the secondary, great, we got a Max Crosby. Is that still enough to make them a top flight defense or a middle of the road defense? And again, if you're going to weaken the offense by moving George Pickens, as McCourty is suggesting, Pickens for Crosby straight up, how much does that affect the overall offense? Or can they find somebody else that won't be near as good as George Pickens, but they also won't be near as expensive as George Pickens?
Well, if Flournoy is good at moving on and can continue to get better, at least you've got that, and you go out and find somebody else and let them battle it out for that. The thing for the Raiders, though, if you're talking about Max Crosby, they're really serious about trying to deal this guy. There's going to be a lot of teams out there that are going to be interested.
Yep.
And so it won't just be the Cowboys that are interested. There's a lot of teams that could use him, a lot of teams that would like to have him. So that would play a part in it as well. How much is somebody willing to give for a Max Crosby? But wouldn't you rather have a Max Crosby than to go out and say draft somebody and hope that draft pick works out? Well, Max Crosby's the real deal.
It's proven. And again, when you've got a George Pickens coming off the year that he has had, and where it does make sense for the Raiders from a financial standpoint, they're going to have a quarterback on the rookie deal.
Yep.
They've got a running back on a rookie deal. So taking on a contract like a George Pickens would make sense, because all the other suitors, you gotta look at all of that scenario. Rookie contract with Fernando Mendoza, who will be the number 1 overall pick, allows them to be a little bit more loose with some of the other positions that some teams get tight on. At the same time, it's a Davis, right? He wants wide receivers, right?
Sure.
But do they want players or do they want picks? What kind of rebuild are they going to be in? But if you're Kubiak and the offense that you want to run, you've got to have some weapons for your young quarterback.
But without a doubt. And Pickens would fit in there. Well, you hope Pickens would fit in there. It's the same problem that you think the Cowboys
he leaves Dallas,
have.
I don't give a damn if he fits in.
Well, exactly right. So, and you talk about Brock Bauer on a rookie deal still. The Raiders, that bill's going to come due.
Yeah.
Pretty soon for those guys. But as it sits right now, they've got an opportunity to do something over the next couple of years that a lot of teams don't have the same flexibility and opportunity to do. So the Raiders could get back pretty quickly. They really could if they play their cards right and they do things the way I think they should do them. Maybe the way you think they should do them. Who the hell knows, right? I don't know. San Antonio Spurs, we've been talking a lot about them just simply because of Jeremy Sohan and him being released today. We'll talk some Spurs, but there's a lot of things going on in the NFL as well, Minnick. So we got a lot to do live here at Novo. That's where we are, attached to NorthStar Mall. Get on down here and start your Wednesday night with us. We've got Post Malone Jelly Roll tickets we are giving away. You have to come down here, though, and register for those tickets. You can't call on the phone. You can't do anything else. Now, if you can't make it down here, shame on you. But we may have a consolation prize for you.
Yeah, over the phone we want to do.
Over the phone, yeah.
The Cowboy cheerleaders.
I think we should, and I'm not sure. Depending on how you stand, may not be a consolation prize as far as you're concerned. That may be the grand prize as far as you're concerned. But we do have some Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. They're coming to the Tobin Center, thanks to Live Nation. All right, and April the 12th, 7:00 at the Tobin Center. Of course, you don't win the tickets. You can buy them at livenation.com. What do you think, Minnis? Let's give those away.
Roger Staubach. Caller 12, 210-656-ESPN, 3776, as Rob Thompson likes to say. You'll thank us later.
Absolutely. Live at Novo. Come on down and see us. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is Wednesday. Spurs playing late tonight against the Golden State Warriors. I mentioned Wednesday. That means steak night at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event than at the Roo and go hungry. The food is fantastic. So it's Wednesday. Go get a great steak and then stick around and watch the Spurs and Warriors on one of those three massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And if it isn't the steak, all the food at the Roo Pub is incredible. I love the fried shrimp over there. They've got the biggest and best wings in San Antonio. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger, the chicken sandwiches, the hot dogs. It's all fantastic. The appetizers, the salads are wonderful, I'm told. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Friday, the Blitz live at the Roo Pub 2 to 6, leading in the All-Star Weekend. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and the Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ancira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
What a great way to spend a Wednesday afternoon here at Novo, the newest sports watching location, newest beer drinking location, newest cocktail drinking location, newest food eating location, whatever you want to say. You can do it all here at Novo, attached to NorthStar Mall on the Rector side of NorthStar Mall. You pull in the parking lot that way, and you can come right on in, right there. It's got its own door and its own hours, and you're not tied to the mall. I'm Joe. He's Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big news today for the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know that it overshadows what Wemby did last night. We'll get into it. But all the Spurs have a lovely photo of Jeremy and all his different hairstyles and a picture that says, "Thank you, Jeremy," because Jeremy Sohan is now Jeremy So Gone from the San Antonio Spurs.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, see
Very
what I
nicely
did there?
done. Sure.
Jeremy So Gone. So if you got one of those 10 jerseys, just get go over to Sammy's Embroidery and he can fix the letters on there. So Gone.
Yeah, So Gone. A couple of comments about Jeremy on our Twitter feed, Jason, both to at Jason Minix, at Joe Reinigle 210, and even at Jeremy Sohan. Paul Salazar just says, want to wish him the best and his future, and he's going to do good wherever he may land. Chris says Sohan was a high draft pick bust. In his defense, Pop screwed him up mentally with the point guard experiment. That's hard to argue with because, boy, and for Greg Popovich, and look, Pop wasn't a perfect coach. There is no perfect coach. You make mistakes. But, boy, that one sure was.
Well, I mean, you go back and you look at the 2022 draft, and Jalen Williams went 12th overall. Let's not forget Malachi Branham was taken by the San Antonio Spurs with the 20th overall.
He's no longer here
pick.
either.
Yeah. Blake Wesley was taken with the 25th pick in that draft. I mean, I'm just looking at all right, there's not somebody right around 10, 11, 12 that I'm oh, man, we missed out on. And again, when they drafted Jeremy Sohan, there are some questions he was going to be a project. But when you look at what the Spurs have turned into with Wemby, he just didn't fit. The fact that they tried seemingly all summer and this season and couldn't get anything in return. You couldn't get anything, a second-round pick, a case of beer. You got nothing for this guy. I mean,
stadium hot dog.
I mean, there's no other way to say it but bust.
Yeah, it is. And again, the Spurs have their list, but they also have their list of successes as well. And so, you don't have to go back that far to a guy named Manu and Tony and Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And I'm not even talking about lottery picks. Obviously, Wemby and Tim Duncan and David Robinson, high draft picks, and they were all successes. But, you got to give the Spurs a lot of credit for that Manu Ginobili pick. You remember that?
Emmanuel Ginobili?
Ginobili, and nobody knew how the hell to say, and nobody dreamed that he would be the player that he turned out to be. Some guy's making fun of the Dallas Cowboys shirt over here.
Well, he's a Patriots fan.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's still crying over that Super Bowl.
He's definitely.
He's not the only one.
He's definitely still crying.
So am I.
Over, well, for other reasons.
Yeah, I'm not a Patriots fan necessarily. I was that day, though.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. Spurs blow out the Lakers last night, 136-108. What I really loved about last night's game is the LA punted, and the Spurs did not. They kicked their ass. Wemby, by himself in that first quarter, just flat dominated that game. My concern, and we talked about this yesterday, Joe, Spurs have had the unfortunate ability this year to play down or up to their competition.
Yep.
And last night, Wemby said after the game, they had to have focus against that shorthanded Lakers team.
Loved it. I think playing against quote-unquote bad teams or teams missing players has been a problem. Consistency. I think almost every time we've been ready against like the top seeds, and our record against them shows it. But we've also been bad against below 0.500 teams. And I mean, tonight, in my opinion, we had to make a statement and show up progress.
I don't know what he just said there, to be totally honest with you. I think it was something good. All I know is when that ball was tipped off last night, Victor Wembanyama turned into something completely different. He was just a man possessed. He was not going to let the Lakers shorthanded stay with them, and he didn't. And he put them away and put them away quickly. I mean, 25 points in 8 minutes.
He scored 17 straight at one point.
Unbelievable.
I mean, dude was in a zone last night.
It feels right. What got me going is honestly proving myself a point, proving my team a point. Because I'm not, as I said before, I'm not worried about us, I'm not worried about me against good teams. But yeah, I mean, history has showed that I need to be worried about us against teams like this. So yeah, I mean, we don't just talk about what we need to do, we need to actually act.
That was an interesting comment there, and I don't know if he meant it that way. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he said he's not worried about him. It's all those other guys he's worried about when they're playing teams that aren't very good.
I mean, it's what he said, and I believe him. But, 13 of 20, 4 of 6 from 3, had 10 of 12 from the line, 12 rebounds, a couple assists, a 40-point night. And in reality, he could have played so much more. I mean, ask him. He could have gone for 60.
I mean, I know it, but I also know we got to be fresh for tomorrow. We got to make another statement tomorrow. So, I mean, it's a team game at the end of the day. What the real stuff that matters is the W or the L.
That, of course, he's talking about tonight. They take on the Golden State Warriors out in San Francisco. And so another team that's going to be shorthanded, they're certainly without their best player in Steph Curry. But I like the way he's playing, and I like the way he's leading this team. Certainly last night, he was fabulous. Just taking and said, give me the ball. And we've been talking about him saying that for a long, long time. Give me the ball. I'm going to take care of things. And last night he certainly did.
Well, and again, I think the way Mitch Johnson talked about how Wemby set the tone last night.
I thought his anticipation and aggressiveness on defense, and then also some of his intentional moves offensively. I say intentional just because I think there are times even when physicality can be used in the wrong term with him. And I think we're continuing to learn how he and our physicality works at best for our advantages. And I thought he did a really good job of finding angles and using his momentum on the move and trying to get to the basket. And he had some free throw attempts, and he just was collapsing the defense quite a bit. And I thought that really set the tone.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt he set the tone. He certainly did that.
The idea, he seemed, I don't know, the other day when he played pissed off, I certainly liked what he was doing there. And last night it felt like he played pissed off, like he was offended that the Lakers sat all their stars against him. Maybe it was playing in Los Angeles. His mom was there, just playing in L.A., while the Staples Center isn't Madison Square Garden. There are certain stages that people want to perform on. Maybe there was something about it for him, or just knowing, dude, we can't play down to the competition. And like he said, that's a young, immature team by age. other guys, they have played down to their competition so much. He knew they couldn't do that and wanted to set that tone. Because I think what he said is true. That's the one thing about Wemby, a lot like Manu, is honest in the interviews. Sometimes it might be the language barrier. Sometimes he might not realize what he's saying could be taken a certain way. Either way, he said it, and I 100% believe him.
Oh, absolutely. You got to believe him. And I like the attitude. You call it, him getting pissed off the other night. And last night, I think the only guy, I think Luka is legit hurt. Austin Reeves is legit hurt. The only guy that sat out last night because he's an old man and can't play back-to-backs anymore is LeBron James. But I just think Wemby's attitude was, look, I'm tired of messing around. We messed around with Oklahoma City when they sat everybody, and they stayed in the game the entire time. That's not happening again tonight. And I think that's what the mindset he went into last night. And my gosh, 25 points in 8 minutes.
Well,
incredible.
One of the stats that just really blows me away, and I realize when you compare time frames and styles of games and that sort of thing, but Wemby's 40 points last night, that gives him 6 40-point games in his career. 6. Tim Duncan only had 5. And that, I'm more stunned. Tim Duncan only had 5? I mean, you'd have thought Timmy would have tripped into 2 or 3 40-point games a year. He only had 5 in his career? I double-check that.
Well, I mean, it is incredible. Now you say that it's a weird stat for sure. And I'm with you. I think I would have said it would have been much higher. It was just a different team, back then than it is now. And I think with Wemby, he knows he's got some talent around him, but he's the guy, and he's got to go get it done. And hell, if you're 7 foot, whatever he is today, 9, 10, 6, whatever Wemby is these days, I mean, he ought to have a hell of a lot of 40-point efforts before his career is over.
Well, the funny thing is, Yahoo Sports tweeted out, Wemby has played 1,236 fewer games than Tim Duncan and has more 40-point games. And I'm just blown away. Timmy only had 5 40-point games in his career. I don't know why that one. I was like, really? Because, again, I think Tim could have had many, many more, I guess, if he wanted or if Pop would have let him. I would have just thought that number would have been in the 20s, for as long as Timmy played, that he would have had a couple of those kind of games every year, not 5. He only had 5 40-point games.
When you look back, and I was just, while you were talking, I was just kind of, thinking in my mind, Duncan was always around 27, 28, It seemed like. And he'd always have double-digit rebounds, but he was always around 27, 28 points, and that was always good enough because you had Tony, you had Manu, you had other role players around, so it wasn't all on Tim Duncan. But look, he's still the greatest, and I'm not going to put Wemby in that category just yet.
No.
Yahoo can try to do that all they want to, but not quite to the Tim Duncan level. Just let's pump the brakes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But, I mean, you're talking about the GOAT, and you're right, because how many games do we remember watching where you don't feel like Timmy is dominating, and you look up and he's at 27 and 18?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, that's just what Tim Duncan did. I know Rob Thompson, when he was doing the post-game show, he used to say, they did the award, player of the game not named Tim Duncan, just so you could give it to somebody else. And that is there. Dan Weiss put out a tweet, another kind of crazy stat. The Spurs have scored 130 or more in 3 straight games for the first time since 1978.
Well, I don't. That doesn't surprise me as much as the Tim Duncan stat because it's a different game now.
Yeah,
I mean, you're scoring points. The 3-point shot is what it is. Although I was impressed, the Spurs only took 33 last night. I was happy about that. But it's a different game, and they're scoring and again. I don't want to take anything away from last night. I honestly don't. But they were playing against a G League ball club last night. Let's face it. You want to be real. It was a G League team. They did what they had to do and did what they were supposed to do against a team of that caliber, and that's what it looks like. Wemby should have dominated that team. He should have scored as many points as he did. And he ought to go out and, well, I say do the same thing. He's got a little tougher matchup defensively tonight with Draymond Green, who's going to be just trying to nag him and bully him a little bit. And we'll see how he handles it.
Well, yeah, and Draymond will certainly do that. And remember last time the Spurs and Warriors played, they were very physical with them. So that is certainly something to watch. I want to get your opinions, though, of Bronny James. He played 25 minutes last night, had 12 points.
That's great.
Bronny has
Good for
earned
him. Wow. Yeah, let's put him in the Hall of Fame, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
That right there tells you everything you need to know about what the Spurs played last night. But again, they dominated the game. They scored 47 points in the first quarter. They gave up 30, though. They scored 37 points in the second quarter. The only quarter they lost was the fourth quarter. And by then I was fast asleep. I don't know what the hell happened in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened in the fourth quarter either, but not many. It was kind of, bench to bench, I think, at that point in time. Because, again, the beauty of last night's blowout win, none of the Spurs starters played a lot of minutes.
No.
And that's beautiful considering they've got a back-to-back coming up. And then they're off for a little while with the All-Star break. So, boy, if you can go into this, I think they won 5 in a row, trying to make it 6 with a win tonight. That's pretty good momentum heading into the All-Star break. And then you continue the rodeo road trip after that. So get it done tonight and keep that momentum going. Fantastic. Quite the performance. I don't care who they were playing against. It was quite the performance. There's no question about that. We are live at Novo. Have I mentioned that today?
Where?
Novo. It is a fantastic place. New place. It is attached to NorthStar Mall. You can either come through the mall if you want to, or they've got their own entrance right here in the parking lot on the Rector side of NorthStar Mall. And, boy, a lot of folks coming in here now as they get ready for their networking event that they're about to have here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You still got time to register for the Post Malone Jelly Roll tickets. You got to be here, though, to register in person. So get on down here. Look, it's almost 5 o'clock. Leave early. Leave work early and come on down here right now. Novo, attached to NorthStar Mall. Get on down here. We're going to talk some mock drafts.
The Bill Yates mock draft is out. Yeah.
It is mock draft season, y'all. And we're talking about it here at Novo.
Where was that coming from? What the hell was that?
This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. I got to brag a little bit, quite frankly. I don't want to just tell you about it. I'm going to brag. I got one of these in my house, and it is the best thing. It's unbelievable. And I've had other water softeners. I have. And they just could not hold a candle to what I have now in my Connecticut Quality Water Softener. It is the most popular water softener on the market, and Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. That is incredible, and I love the fact that you don't plug this thing in. It doesn't run on electricity. It runs on that kinetic energy. I don't know what it does or how it works, but I know it works, and it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they've still got that deal going on. Right now, when you buy a Connecticut, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. So what does that mean for you? It means no more buying bottled water. You've got it right there at your kitchen sink. You don't have to do that anymore. Plus, they're going to give you some free money. 0% interest for 12 months. Incredible deal. Treat yourself, treat your family, protect your appliances and pipes in your house. Connecticut is the best way to do that. Give them a call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Touchdown Vegas! What a wild finish!
Your home for the NFL.
George gets justice. After an accident, a lot of people think they can't afford a lawyer. They're already stressed, hurting, or maybe out of work, and the last thing they need is a big retainer fee to get help. But here's the truth. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you only pay if they win. Real help is within reach. Right now, call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-269-3394. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-216-1635 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-216-1635. That's 800-216-1635. What do you have to lose? Call 800-216-1635. Again, 800-216-1635.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open this Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 this Friday through Sunday.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the breaking news this afternoon. The Spurs have released Jeremy Sohan. They drafted him 9th overall back in 2022. Jeremy Sohan no longer a San Antonio Spur, which means he will not be in action tonight when the Spurs take on the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. Steph Curry won't be there either. He is out. This is the final game before the All-Star break.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And we're hanging out on a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
I love
Happy
that
hump day,
camel.
everybody. Yes, I do.
You do.
Hope you're having a great hump day, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. You ought to be down here with us at Novo. That's for sure, because this is the place to be. No doubt about it. A lot of folks arriving here. Spurs Jesus is still here. He's hanging out. And so there's no reason why you shouldn't come down here either. You can register to win our Post Malone Jelly Roll tickets, Jason Minix. A lot of people have done that, and we're going to draw a winner here in probably a little less than an hour.
In less than an hour, I can guarantee that. And I can say, I mean, there's a reason the Wookiee has showed up. There are a lot of reasons you want to come here today. And it ain't Spurs Jesus.
Is it shiny?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The scenery here is it's picked up a notch.
Oh, well, yeah, I would say that's an accurate
If you need
statement.
to come in network, this is certainly the place. Ben Brasinho is here for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's more than just Post Malone and Jelly Roll. Oh, that's reason enough.
Absolutely it is.
But you're thirsty, you're hungry, and you're at the mall. And I did not connect these dots until I've been sitting here now for several hours.
All right, what did you connect?
Ladies come to the mall in groups. And there's no guys, and then they shop and they get thirsty and they come in here to Novo, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah,
that's why it's a perfect location.
Yeah, I didn't put that. You got certain things that you're there and the light bulb goes off.
And you know what I love about that? You said that and just reminded me. Jasmine, who works with us at San Antonio Sports Star, she's a salesperson, and she's here with us. And she had the one thing she loves about this place. Not only they have good wine, but they have stems on their wine glasses. I didn't know that was a big thing to women, but apparently it is.
Okay.
So there you go. It's schwanky. You got stems, right? You got stems on your wine glass. It's a big deal, isn't it?
All right, Natalie, why is the stem important? As I say that, I can hear some of the answers.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes you feel sophisticated. Little
Jasmine,
dainty.
come over here.
It looks better on the Instagram when you post your photo. If you have a stem on your gut, you're not on camera.
No. Why is it important to have a stem on your wine glass?
It's fancy.
Classy. There you go.
Classy.
So
right,
stemless is not classy.
Hold on. Give her a microphone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Give her a mic.
Can she borrow your microphone real
give
quick?
her a microphone. The engineer's looking at me like, you want her with a microphone? What the hell is wrong with you?
Exactly.
All right, knucklehead. I'm a beer drinker. You know this. When you get a wine glass, don't they all have a stem?
No.
There are stemless wine glasses. And for me, I feel like that's a little bit more kind of just like tough and masculine. It's a little more durable. As a lady, you
just want a stem in your hand.
Yes. Jason, we all know this, okay? Like we feel right at home.
Yes.
It looks better for the Instagram. Is that what you're saying?
It's just dainty. It's a little lighter.
Well,
you're just feeling the wine vibe.
I was explaining to Jason when we came in here the other day that you said that was one of the great things about this place, because you like drinking wine, but you like it in a glass with a stem.
Listen,
so in other words, you just don't want it out of a solo cup.
No.
All right. Now, I will say, just for people that don't know, you and I have known each other for many, many years.
We're neighbors.
And we're neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. At the Super Bowl every year, there's always a station there. They're sponsored by a candle company, and they're giving out all these candles, and they don't want to bring those candles home, so they give them to everybody. And I got a specific candle for Jasmine. What was it called?
High maintenance.
And again,
it smells delicious.
All right, but again, the name of the flavor candle is
high maintenance.
It could also be stem on your wine glass. I mean, it's two and two.
Well, listen, Novo Brewery, they cater to the high maintenance crowd. Okay,
That's
so
it.
all the ladies out there, bring your husbands. They've got the stems for the wine glasses. Okay.
Yes, they do. So, I didn't know that was important until you told me that the other day. So
very important. Maggie,
she's the same way.
Yeah.
But I could drink something out of I don't care, a tin cup.
It doesn't matter. I order and it shows up. Right.
Well, we'll get you taken care of here at Novo Brewery.
Well, thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
well,
for the
very
record,
good.
there was a variety of candles, and she chose the high maintenance one because it fit.
Of course, and she is high maintenance, but
trust me.
Yeah,
I've known her way too long.
And my fault, everybody's watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, because I didn't have the camera on her, and I'm going to do something here real quick.
You really want to do that?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to turn this
Jasmine, now you're on camera. Our YouTube viewers want to see what they were listening to.
Everybody's mad at me, Jasmine, because they didn't get to see you as you were talking. So there you go. That is Jasmine right there. Say hello to everybody. That's there you go.
High maintenance.
Yeah, that's it right there. So there you go. You're welcome, everybody. And so don't be mad at me anymore.
So apparently, the stem now.
What, you giving us the birds and the bees now?
No,
what are you doing?
No. DiDomenico on our YouTube page. It's a way for your hands not to warm up the wine.
Well, there you go.
The stem will keep the temperature of the wine from not increasing with the heat from your hands. Good Lord.
Well, this is all true. Now, now I'm a wine drinker. I like wine, but I only like red wine.
All right.
So typically, I don't like my red wine cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Some restaurants serve it cold, but all white wine is cold. And so I think that's, and I don't know what Jasmine has. Looks like white wine over there. So that's why she wants a stem.
Yeah.
There it is.
A variety of things there, Joe.
Wine 101.
I learned some things, and whatever you're thinking too, I think that also applies.
I think it does. Well, today anything applies, and it doesn't matter. There are no rules here at Novo.
No. No is in the name. Novo.
Novo.
Yeah.
Novo. Boy, I tell you what, if this place is hopping right now, and if you should come down here. Again, you got about 45 minutes, tops, maybe 40, to get over here and register for these Post Malone Jelly Roll tickets. And if you don't win them because you didn't make it down here to register, that's your fault.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a simple little drive to get over here and come on in. And
out of left field, we have a loser. Get on out here. Now, it is mock draft season.
Yes, it is.
Field Yates has a mock draft out today. Sonny Styles, number 12 to the Dallas Cowboys.
That's been pretty consistent. I mean, it really has. Linebacker, Ohio State, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Keldrick Falk, the edge rusher from Auburn, at number 20 for the Dallas Cowboys. And what I do like about the early mock drafts, and I imagine we'll get into March, and there's going to be one that will have the Cowboys taking either a left tackle or a wide receiver. But I do like that most everybody at this point, anyone that I have seen, and there could be some that I haven't seen, but defense at 12 and 20. Those are the biggest needs.
Yeah.
And what I like about them, they also appear to be best player available. So whatever your theory that you subscribe to when it comes to drafting for need or best player available, it kind of fits for both 12 and 20.
You know what I love about all the mock drafts I've seen? There's not one guy from Michigan on that list. So that's a good thing. No Michigan men. You can't go wrong with Ohio State. Auburn at that 20th pick is where I've seen a lot of differences.
Yeah.
There's a cornerback out of Tennessee I've seen mentioned quite a bit. A lot of people are talking about edge rushers. So that one's going to be more of a mystery, I think. But it looks like if all these mock drafts have any clue at all, this Styles kid out of Ohio State is going to be the guy at number 12.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, some wonder, it's funny when these mock drafts come out, then you hear the analysts talking about them, like this morning on Get Up. Will Sonny Styles be there at 12? Talking with James Pledger the other day, if he's there, you run that card up to the commissioner. And so, it kind of makes you wonder, at 12, there's, will something happen and there'll be a run, or that's the kind of interesting part. And also, Christian Parker is a defensive back specialist. So will there be a corner at maybe not 12, but at 20, where a lot of these mocks have the Cowboys taking an edge rusher? Get a Max Crosby, and now you don't need the edge rusher.
You could go after a cornerback, right? I mean, or a defensive back, or whatever you want at that point in time. So. Because, look, corner is still a need for the Cowboys. Edge rusher, linebacker, and defensive backfield, all needs for the Cowboys. Unfortunately, they only have 2 draft picks at this point in time in the first round, and nothing again until, the 5th round? Fourth round.
Fourth round, yeah. They don't have a second or a third.
Yeah.
So they have 2 in the top 100. And although I do expect Jerry to do some dealing and get back into the second or third round, I'd be surprised if they don't, unless they really are legit players in free agency. But the whole Max Crosby story, and I really do, I don't really see it happening. I don't want to get overly excited about the idea, although Jason McCourty today on Get Up threw out a scenario that if this is straight up, I think you have to seriously consider this.
If I'm the Raiders, why not go out and trade Max Crosby? And for the Dallas Cowboys, You franchise tag George Pickens. You don't work out a long-term deal. You trade him to the Raiders. Get Crosby in exchange. Now you've just beefed up your defensive line. New coordinator coming over. Max Crosby's going to make everybody on the defensive side of the ball better. And on top of that, have you watched the way Max Crosby plays the game of football? He plays every single play of the game. And for the Raiders, you get a weapon as George Pickens. Fernando Mendoza, you need some weapons on the outside? Well, you got one. You got a dog out there in George Pickens.
Boy, I tell you what, Jason, I mean, it's hard not to get excited about something like that. I mean, could you imagine a Max Crosby wearing a star in his helmet? That would be pretty fantastic.
I mean, it would be. And I would love it in I just don't see it happening, so I don't want to let myself go down that path, right? But
I got you.
But straight up, and just going with what McCourty said, you're going to tag George Pickens.
Yes.
He's not going to become a free agent. You're not going to let him test the waters and see what the market is, right? That is not going to happen. He will get tagged. But you have his rights. You can't trade him. The Raiders aren't going to trade him unless they sign him to a long-term deal. So, one, he would have to agree to that. All right, Raiders it is, and this is the contract, and there you go. Or the Cowboys, the dollars are about the same on the Max Crosby deal versus the George Pickens
about
deal.
$33 million.
Right? And so that's a wash. If they got the money for George, they got the money for Max. They don't have the money for both. But will the Raiders want more? And then what is that more going to be? And that's where I start to say that's where Jerry says no, because Jerry knows he has to fix this defense. He's talked about that. But you also don't want to diminish what that offense was last year. You want to build on that offense and improve your defense so you, too, could host a parade like the Seattle Seahawks did today.
Yeah, well, that would be nice. Where would they host that parade? It's been so long, I don't remember the route.
I mean, it's the Kennedy route. I mean, they'll find a way.
They'll find a way.
I mean, it could be all over. Who the hell cares?
It doesn't matter. Just get to that point. We'll figure it out from there. That would be so interesting. But you hear people talking about it, and you're going to hear people talking about it from now until we get started and the offseason really gets underway. It's going to be exciting. There's no doubt about it, as is every offseason. What the heck? The NBA is not in an offseason right now.
No.
And there's one team in the league that is just flying in the face of the integrity of the league. We're going to tell you who it is, and is there anything we can do about it? We'll do that when we continue live from Novo. That's where we're at. Get on down here. Register for those Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets. Get that done and come see us, Jason and Joe, here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, not far from where we are right now at Novo here at NorthStar Mall. It is rodeo season, and you got groups that are working out there. You need winter gear. Go see Sam. Put that logo on a nice jacket, a quarter zip. A vest, hats. Sam has over 25,000 hats and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style, trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike, Cap America, to name a few. You need T-shirts, screen printed, long sleeve tees, short sleeve tees. Sam will get you taken care of. You need uniforms. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries, construction, restaurant, medical, schools, leagues. Sam will get you taken care of. Just your logo on a nice golf shirt, a dress shirt, fishing shirt. Sam's got all the big name brands: Under Armour, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. And he also now carries a full line of Tommy Bahama. Great pricing on that Tommy Bahama, and that price does include the logo. Nobody has better prices. Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410, right across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-575-6879. 800-575-6879.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed? Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your tee, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back out live at Novo. That's where we are. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy you are with us this afternoon. We appreciate that. Wish you were with us here. A lot of our listeners are. A lot of folks you see all the time. If you're on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, they chime in. Quite a few are here with us at Novo, and wish you were here as well. You still have about I'm gonna say about 30 minutes, Minix, on the tickets, the Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets before we draw one of those and give it away. So you got about 30 minutes to get over here and register and put your name in the hat, and perhaps you will win. So great place to come out here, though. I'm Joe, he's Jason, and this place is hopping.
It is hopping and a good time, although in the San Antonio high school football community, a lot of stories going around. I don't know a lot of details other than what I'm seeing in the San Antonio Express News, but a Stevens high school football player had a medical episode during practice today, and he has passed away. He is a junior. They haven't released any names. The principal in the MySA article does talk about what had happened and what they're doing, providing emotional resources. He suffered the medical episode during an off-season practice, according to a school district news release, after being assessed on the scene by athletic trainers, transported by EMS to the hospital, where he passed away shortly after midnight. Obviously, an investigation is underway. Northside ISD, second student to pass away this week, because they had a 15-year-old that died on Monday after being struck by a garbage truck near the medical center. But
it's just terrible news.
It is. That is just awful news. But I know it's buzzing around, and I don't know any details of what was going on in practice. And I have no ideas. It's just tragic anytime you hear a story like that.
Yeah, well, it's awful, and obviously it's the off season right now.
Yeah.
So not sure what they were doing or what happened, but it sounds like it was something just medically related. God, that's just awful. It's terrible. I hate to hear stories like that. That's not good. Not good at all.
No. Tanking.
Yeah, tanking.
Well, I mean, there is no transition out of that, right?
No, there's not. You just got to move on. Right?
You acknowledge, we're fully aware of it, and it's awful, but I don't know any other details. So, but I've had about 9 people text me about it. So, let's tanking is another lovely story that we love to talk about in the NBA. And it's funny because we're all hypocrites when it comes to tanking.
Yes, we are.
We all hate tanking. I've told everybody in this room right now at Novo, at NorthStar Mall, every one of you driving right now, if I say, do you like tanking, nobody's going to raise their hand. We all hate it. But when it's our team doing it, you accept it, because the reward for suckage is so great that if you're not going to win it all, then you might as well tank and try to win the lottery that can turn your franchise around. And so when you're playing by that set of rules, you get rewarded for suckage. We got a Wemby out of that deal. We almost got a Cooper Flag, got 2 in that one. And I'm not mad at what we did get at the number 2 overall pick. And until these leagues, especially the NBA, stops rewarding teams for suckage, when you know you're out of it, it's a race to the bottom. Can you suck worse than everybody else? Can you be good at sucking, good at losing games? And that is what's going on. Although Utah has taken it to another level, now people are upset that they're just openly tanking. So you used to have to privately tank. You had to be subtle about it. You keep it close, and, the last 4 minutes you put in a guy that can't make a free throw and you lose a game.
Yeah, and that's fine. But what Utah's doing is just basically spitting in the face of the NBA. They had a lead the other night, put all their starters on the bench, didn't play them in the second half, or the fourth quarter, I should say, and they end up losing the game. They are tanking openly, and it's really sad to see. Now, look, before we get on Utah, and they're doing it maybe more egregious than anybody else has ever done it, but every team has done it, including your San Antonio Spurs. And I remember the day I was against this. This goes against everything, yada, yada, yada. And then we get Wemby and, see, Joe, I told you. And you're right. You did. It worked out. And so, but it's just awful. And there's got to be a fix to it.
Well, and like Bobby Marks was on ESPN, and he says the Jazz are messing with the integrity of the game.
I think what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. the ability to sit players, starters, in the fourth quarter, to not call timeouts in the fourth quarter. Orlando won the game on Saturday because they basically rested players, and it backfired on them last night. So I think if you're the league, you're looking at it. All right, can we do some gimmicks? Can we alter protections and eliminate protections as far as picks, or can we put the hammer down?
Well, and that's it. Again, Utah is playing by the rules. And that's something that Adam Silver has to fix. And maybe because Utah is being so blatant about it, maybe Adam Silver can do something, whether it's protections or this, that, or the other. I mean, there are some things that maybe they can do where if you suck the most, you're going to get rewarded the best.
I don't know what the answer is, Jason. I really don't know what the answer is. If you don't make the playoffs, maybe everybody just gets one ball, and then you just get lucky. Instead of having more balls in the hopper. And I get the idea of it. You want teams to be able to rebuild and rebuild quickly. And so you've got, teams that you don't always have Golden State winning it or San Antonio winning it or whatever the case may be. You want different teams doing that. But maybe that's it. If you don't make the playoffs, you get one ball. And whoever gets lucky gets lucky.
And I don't know what the math would be on this because I'm just throwing out ideas, right? But I think it's similar to something I've said in years past when you talk about teams that are constantly in the lottery year after year. There should be no benefit for multiple years in the lottery. So like if you're in the lottery one year, say this year, 2026, Utah, you're in the lottery. Wherever they end up picking, you're in the lottery, and say you're in the top 5. The next year, you can't be in the top 5, maybe, 5 through 8. So if somebody's ping pong balls has them at 7 and you end up at 3, you just have to switch, with a coin flip or something to where you can't get multiple years in a row with a chance at a top 5 pick or a top 3 pick. I know that would be some sort of complicated math equation to figure out, but you get the lottery once. Most of us would be happy to win the lottery one time in our life. And as a Spurs franchise, they've done it a couple of times, but years apart. Now, they almost got a Cooper flag, right? And
can you imagine?
Well, I can. But,
oh, my gosh.
But think about, in this scenario, you're not in the playoffs. Do you have a tournament to determine who is the number 1 pick? Do you do that for some postseason play? I think that'd be better than the NBA Cup thing.
I'm not opposed to that.
But also I think there needs to be limitations. You can only be in the lottery, once every 4 years, so you're forced to try to go build without stockpiling all these picks and hoping to win the lottery and be in the lottery multiple years. And I know I'm a hypocrite saying this because I know what the Spurs were doing and I didn't like it, but I understood what the plan was. And then, teams tell you this is what our plan is. And as a fan, you go, okay, well, we've got to go through a couple of years of bad to try to get good again. And Oklahoma City's done it. They've won a title. Spurs have a championship caliber team again. It's a process that works. So when you look at the Spurs example, you look at the Oklahoma City example, you can't be mad at the Utah Jazz, Bobby Marks, and say they're messing with the integrity of the game when there are great examples of, if you do this, it will suck for a while, but your reward is this. The Spurs on a championship trajectory, the Thunder, the reigning NBA champions.
Well, that's why Adam Silver, he's the one messing with the integrity of the NBA, and he's got to come up with a solution to this because it can't continue to take place. Pledge has got a great point on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, and he's absolutely right. There's something I didn't think about until he wrote that on there. Protected pick protections. That's a problem because teams don't want to lose the picks that are protected and that are tops, and so eliminate that. Get rid of that. That might help in the long run. But seriously, you got to do something because what Utah is doing, and look, they're well within the rules to do it. I say well within the rules. They're skirting it and they're walking the line, but still, nobody's. I mean, how can you say to Utah right now, you can't do that? Because they could probably go back to Dallas last year San Antonio the year before, whatever team before that, and before that, and before that. They said they all did it. We're just doing exactly what they did. It worked out for them. And so we want it to work out for us. And so Adam Silver's got to do something. There's got to be something done, and something done quick, because this is ridiculous. And what they're doing is just it's just awful. But the whole thing's awful. It's not just Utah. It's everybody that does it.
Well, and again, you're rewarded for suckage, and with the pick protections like Alice did last year, they knew they weren't going to win the title, so we need to protect our picks. That is something else too, because down the stretch you got a handful of teams that feel like they can win an NBA championship. Everybody else is already positioning themselves for next year. And again, playing within the rules, that's the way the system is set up. Who can maximize that the best? And ultimately, that's the goal. If I know we're not going to win it this year, what can we do to make next year's team better?
Well, I tell you what, and on a lighter note, Jason, can you imagine if the Spurs would have gotten that number 1 pick and had Cooper Flagg? Have you seen that dude play? Now, no offense to Dylan Harper, but Cooper Flagg is about 10 steps higher.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the real deal.
If there wasn't Wemby, Cooper Flagg was the next best thing, right?
Well, no doubt. But can you imagine those two paired up together?
We were this close.
Oh, my gosh. I don't think the Spurs would be beatable, to be quite honest with you. It would. I mean, they'd score 200 points a game, I think. It'd be incredible. Obviously, I jest, but, I mean, that kid is something else. And look, Dallas, no matter how they got there or what they got, that kid's going to be a superstar in this league. He is just that good.
It's unfortunate they got rid of Nico, so we can't count on them trading him away in a couple of years.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, trade him to San Antonio. That would be good. I wouldn't mind that at all. Woo. Hey, you've still got time. We're at Novo, NorthStar Mall. That's where we are. Come on down. It's on the Rector side of NorthStar Mall. Come on down and join us. You can hear the crowd of people that are in here now. Everybody having a good time, enjoying a cold beverage and eating some good food over here. This guy and people still coming in. So it's going to be a party in here tonight. Don't forget, Spurs do tip off at 9 o'clock. It's a pretty good place to watch it right here at Novo and try some of their great food, great drinks, and all of that kind of good stuff. Plus, you maybe about, 15 minutes or so to register for the Jelly Roll Post Malone tickets before we draw and pick a winner. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains. They're conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a small Friday on the Morning Huddle, or a Thursday to you guys. Oh, baby. USA Hockey getting underway. How do they fare to start out their Olympic run?
I'm feeling very Olympic today. And did the Golden State Warriors lay down for the Spurs? Will that make 3 straight? We'll talk about that in my Gold Fever coming up tomorrow. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. For the past 32 years, I've represented San Antonians injured in auto accidents. I'm a second-generation attorney here in town. My father, Bob Thompson, has practiced law here in San Antonio for more than 50 years, and I learned how to practice law from him. I learned what it means to be asked to represent a client and the tremendous honor and obligation that comes with being someone's attorney. And here's what that means for you. If you call my office, I will be the one you speak to. I will be your attorney, not a staff member or a junior lawyer. 2, I have one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. 3, relationships. A good one is built on communication, honesty, and time. I like talking to my clients. They're the only reason I go to work every day, and each is very special and very much appreciated. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, please call me. My name's Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or you can go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is welcoming new furry family members. 6,000 square feet of indoor play, 5 outdoor yards, and trained staff for your pup. Call 210-750-1298 today. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits.
It's San Antonio's newest sports watching destination, Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Craft beers, kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens conveniently attached to NorthStar Mall, open late. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-824-0593 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-824-0593. That's 800-824-0593. What do you have to lose? Call 800-824-0593. Again, 800-824-0593.
At Target, we're unlocking all the feels this Valentine's Day. It's the perfect time to spread extra love and spoil everyone on your list with unforgettable gifts. First, give a cuddle-worthy surprise with the cutest plush toys, or get party ready and treat yourself to stylish women's dresses you'll heart. Both 20% off. Then dive into the ultimate cozy celebration with your faves with 30% off select women's pajamas. There's something sweet for all your special someones, even you. Find Valentine's Day gifts for everyone at Target.
Back here live at Novo. That's where we are. We've been here all afternoon, and what a great day it has been. Attached to NorthStar Mall, it has its own entrance. You can enter through the mall however you want to get here, and it's got its own hours. It's not stuck with the mall's hours. And I tell you what, the food's great. Drinks look good. Jason Minix, and I can't wait to have one of those cold drinks here in about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, exactly. We've ordered some kombucha.
You got to try it.
We're gonna try it on air.
Oh,
at the end at the end of the show.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect.
I mean, if Jacob Toby can try smelling salts live on TV, we can try some kombucha live on the radio.
You know what?
At the end of the show, boss.
I don't think anybody's going to give a damn. They're not listening. You think?
No.
They might be.
We still have jobs.
Exactly right. Yeah, boy, if they listened to every minute of every day, we'd be in deep trouble. But we're happy you guys listen every minute of every day, or at least a lot of it. And look, you still got time to get down, and we still have people registering for these tickets for Jelly Roll and Posty. So we're going to do this in, about 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, give or take. Caden will figure that out and hand us and tell us who the winner is. And,
all right.
We will go from there. But we do have people that have ideas on how to fix the tanking problem. Lots of ideas on the YouTube page. You can go write them there. San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. You can find that pretty easily. Or you can dial up 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, like Bill did. Bill, you're on the Blitz.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Hope you're having a great time at Nova. It's a great place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the end, and the Spurs were really kind of unwatchable until we got lucky in the lottery. And when I was thinking about the fans are always the ones that get the pain because the owners get to sell the tickets same price no matter if you got a good team or crappy team, and they never get really hurt other than they don't get a big share of playoff money and things like that. But if they could regulate that somehow, like if you're going to put a crappy team on the floor, you don't care about that, then you shouldn't be able to sell the premium NBA ticket. So if the NBA ticket, let's say $100 for every seat, and based on how good your team was, you get to charge up to 100%, or if it's just crappy, you get only 70% of that. I don't know if that's the way to do it because the owners are never going to give up money. But it just seems to me that the fans are always the one that end up paying, whether it's crap or gold on the board.
Well, and you're right, Bill. Appreciate the call. That's a great idea in theory that will never, ever. Ticket prices are what they are, and people are going to pay them. And, kind of like when the Spurs sucked. You know what? Steph Curry's coming to town. The ticket prices are high because you're still seeing superstars there. And even on crappy teams, those guys make a whole lot of money.
But I think he's got the right idea because what he said, the owners like money. And if you start and get it to a point in time where if it's blatant, if there's somebody that can prove that, and with Utah, I think the proof is in the pudding. You can certainly tell what they did. Then maybe there are some fines involved for some of these teams for doing that. Again, I don't know. I'm not smart enough, but I'm not the NBA commissioner, and Adam Silver's got to fix this.
When we talk about money, ticket prices are what they are, and the fans always get screwed on this. So as I say this, I understand what I'm saying, but I don't think they're ever going to say, you know what, we weren't very good, let's lower ticket prices. But maybe the percentage of TV share money changes for playoff teams versus lottery teams. You get a smaller piece of the pie if you don't make the playoffs. And the more you suck, the better you're picking in the draft, the less percentage of that TV revenue you're going to get. You get some sort of guarantee, like they're all guaranteed X. Playoff teams get more, non-playoff teams get less, and the team with the number one pick gets the least amount of that TV revenue.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I think there are some great ideas out there and some ways to fix this thing in a way where you just can't do this anymore.
Let's go to John. John, you're on the Blitz. How do you want to fix tanking?
Yeah, I heard a guy call in on the Dan Patrick show this morning, and it made sense. I guess Utah is one of the worst teams. Who would be another bad team in the NBA right now?
But I'd have to look at Washington. I'm not sure how they're doing, but they're always pretty bad.
Okay, well, what he was saying was like Utah, because they're sitting their players. Now, Washington doesn't sit their players. They'll go to playing time, and they see that Utah, you sat your players so many times, you get less balls than the thing. If Washington played their starters the whole year, they get more balls in the thing. So it ends the tanking because you can't see your guys no more.
John, that's interesting because you look at Washington and Indiana are sitting at 14 wins, Brooklyn at 15 in the East. See, Utah's at 17 wins. They've already won too much. Sacramento's got 12 wins. New Orleans has 15. See, Utah, part of their blatancy is because they know the other teams aren't trying to, and so to get there and to maximize the amount of ping pong balls they can get, they've got to lose more, which is why I think they're being so blatant about it. But a minutes for your stars average isn't a bad idea. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, you're on the Blitz. How do you want to fix tanking?
Yeah, I don't remember what league does this, but I did read about a league that once you are officially eliminated from the playoffs, you start accumulating points based on your win. And the team with the most points at the end of the season gets the first pick. So once you're officially eliminated, you have more time to accumulate those points if you are really bad, but you still get rewarded for the wins versus tanking for losses.
You know what's interesting there, Kevin, appreciate the phone call, is some of these teams, I mean, are they officially eliminated yet?
No.
And that,
although they are.
You could say Sacramento is, because they're not even trying, but because of the play-in tournament, the LA Clippers right now, as we sit today, they're the 10th seed at 25 wins. Memphis only has 20. Dallas has 19. So are they that far out of it? They're not trying, trust me. But, at what point are you officially eliminated where something like that would actually make sense?
Well, look, and I haven't heard anything about New Orleans or Sacramento, but Sacramento's only got 12 wins, so they're certainly not going to try to win many games. I think that's pretty obvious. You got the Indiana Pacers, who are at 14 wins, the Wizards 14, Brooklyn. These teams aren't going to try and win, and that's the problem now. They're all going to be battling on the bottom feeders here to try and get that number one pick, or at least the most ping pong balls to try and get that number one pick. Problem is, Jason, I didn't honestly, there is no Wemby this year to my recollection. There is no Cooper Flagg in this particular draft either. I'm sure there's some good players out there, and I'm just now really starting to get into some college basketball viewing as we get headed towards March in some of these conference tournaments. But there isn't a generational talent out there, as far as I can see yet, that's out there that would be worth tanking for.
Although I mean, even if you're going to use that pick for a trade, I mean, the value of having a number one overall pick, you can't deny, and that's what's going to happen. The good news is it feels like in San Antonio, those days are in the rear view. These are other people's problems at this point. We did our time, and I know we're hypocrites bitching about tanking now because we supported it begrudgingly. We understood the mission.
I didn't support it.
And we got Wemby.
Don't throw me in there.
I'm throwing you in there.
I'm not. I did not support it.
But we got Wemby. So it was the misery was worth it if it leads to championships. And the Spurs certainly seem like they are on a road to have more championships coming. I don't think it happens this year, honestly, as we sit here on the 11th of February. But, man, they could. I mean, right now, when you look at the way the Spurs are playing, what Wemby did last night, and you think about, I don't want to discount Denver yet. I don't want to discount Houston. And we've seen what the Spurs have done to Oklahoma City. In the West, the Spurs look like the number one roadblock for the Oklahoma City Thunder in their quest to repeat. And again, I know Denver will get healthy, and they're going to be in that mix. But the Spurs, and I didn't expect it to happen this year, are right there. They are in that conversation.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be interesting. And why the NBA hasn't done something about Oklahoma City yet. Resting 10 players against a game against the Spurs. That should have been an automatic huge fine for them. Well, why has Adam Silver not done anything?
I'm trying to remember. Was it $500,000 that the Spurs got fined when they put the big three and Danny Green on the Southwest lane?
I think it was something like that. I mean, it's got to hurt these guys. I'm not sure. I mean, $500,000 is a lot of money, but I'm not sure that's enough.
But you got to figure out, what does the bylaw say? What is the max? And whatever the max is what needs to happen, especially when that happens on – Caden, grab the box. We're going to draw a winner.
Right there.
When you look at I lost my whole train of thought.
I know you did.
When you look at and you think about what the max fine is, they did it on national TV, and NBC can't be thrilled with that. It just doesn't work. So we've got Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets.
Yeah, we
Ryan
do.
Eagle has reached his hand into the bucket.
I have, and I don't know if people can hear me or not. Can they?
No.
Can we turn that up a little bit?
Oh, wow.
Hey, everybody. Everybody that registered for the Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets, we have a winner right here. All right, you got to be here to win.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. Arnie Flores. Is there an Arnie Flores here?
He's right there.
Right there.
Awesome.
Congratulations. All right. Very good.
Awesome, man.
Congratulations.
Congrats, man. You got tickets to a hell of a show coming up in Waco.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right,
no doubt
Kate,
about it.
Turn us down a little bit. Whatever's going on in my head right now. Turn us down first. Kate, turn whatever
us down. Now, will you? Yeah, because we're too loud. These folks are done with us. They didn't win. They're pissed off. So,
well, absolutely, absolutely. Come on, yeah. We're live,
we're
radio
live
right
on the air,
now,
but that's all right. Doesn't matter.
Because now we're now we're gonna start drinking.
Yeah, well, we got to try this before we go off the air.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, get there. If you're not watching, get there. Jason Minix is going to try kombucha.
Now, with your camera,
for the first time,
because my camera's too close.
All right,
to
here we go. Here we go.
How they've set up this kombucha flight. It's watermelon mint, dragon fruit, sexy pina colada, or leche lemonade.
Whoa, they all sound pretty good.
They all sound pretty good.
So you pick one.
Which one do you want?
What are the names again?
Watermelon mint, dragon fruit, sexy pina colada, or leche lemonade.
Lemonade.
You want the lemonade?
Yeah, let's do a lemonade.
This flight board, they have filled these to the rim. I don't want to spill any.
All right, this is delicious here.
All right,
and
I'm going to go watermelon mint. So
watermelon mint.
I've never had.
So you can see here
before
what we're doing. If you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, if not, get there. And we're about to.
Now this isn't a shot, right?
No, you can shoot it if you want to. Hey, Minix, happy birthday for yesterday!
Yeah,
and
cheers.
Cheers! Thanks for trying something new. That's unusual for you.
That's not Flight by Yingling, is it?
No, it's not.
Well, that's interesting. That could be dangerous.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that tastes just like lemonade. If you didn't know, it's lemonade, but it could sneak up on you.
I'm gonna try this.
That's for sure. Try which one is that? Passion fruit?
Dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit, not just passion fruit. Dragon fruit. It's delicious. You guys need to come down here to Novo. Check this place out.
You can have that one.
I promise you, if you come here once, you're going to come back again.
Yeah, you
and
are.
Again and again. This place is a lot of fun. The food is fantastic. The drinks are great. We appreciate the folks here at Novo for entertaining us today and having us here in-house. We appreciate that very much. Pledge, you got a show tonight?
I do.
All right. Extra Innings with James Pledger is coming up next year on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Wake up early with the fellas of the morning huddle, AJ and Rob. They'll get your Thursday off to a great start. Minix and I will be back at 2. In the meantime, have a great night, everybody.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz.
Translat.